Tonight, live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, two champions will battle. These two warriors will lay it all on the line, but only one can walk away. The undisputed light heavyweight champion. It is all over. Tito Ortiz becomes with this victory a legend of the Octagon.
I can't even begin to fathom a match between Tito Ortiz and Chuck Liddell.
To be considered the champion, you have to fight the #1 contender, and he wasn't willing to do that. He knows in his heart why he wouldn't fight Chuck, and he's got to live with that.
I am no coward. I'm not afraid of no man.
It doesn't really matter. The fact remains, he didn't fight Chuck, and I did.
Randy taking it to Chuck Liddell.
This is incredible. Randy Couture is going to stop Chuck Liddell. What an incredible athlete and what an incredible upset.
New UFC light heavyweight champion of the world.
In my mind, I don't think there's two champions. Since I stepped out, there's two contenders fighting, and that's all it was.
Tito, I don't know if you're in the house, baby, but if you want this belt, you're gonna have to come in here and take it.
Time to end this offering. I need a minute to myself. So I drift away. You will never get to me. What can be done? I'll do myself. So I swim away. What do I do? What do I do? Control and see. What do I do? No one. I'm wild. Don't right. What do I do? What do I do? Control inside. What do I do? No one. I'm wild. Don't right. Face the pain, no escape to the step to this. Face the pain, no escape to the step to this. Face the pain, face the pain. Remember it's a person. Face the pain, no escape to the step to this. Face the pain, no escape to the step to this. Face the pain, face the pain. Remember it's a person.
The moment has arrived. We are live at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight there will be, and I mean only one, light heavyweight champion. No disputing any longer what we will see this evening. Hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Joe Rogan, I'm Mike Goldberg. Welcome to UFC 44. Joe, the story's well documented. Tito was a holdout. Randy was a victor. Now we see who the real champion is tonight.
Well, clearly Tito is still the champion because he never lost his title in the Octagon. But he didn't face the #1 contender in Chuck Liddell for whatever reasons. Randy Couture did, and he dismantled him, without a doubt making himself the most effective challenger ever. Without a doubt, he is the most dangerous guy that Tito has ever fought, and we're going to find out tonight who the best 205-pound fighter in the world is.
Well, Joe, the last time Tito Ortiz was in the Octagon, he fought the world's most dangerous man, and he punished Ken Shamrock.
He punished Ken Shamrock, but without a doubt, Ken Shamrock does not have the type of skills and credentials that Randy Couture does. Randy Couture is a world-class wrestler, excellent striker, and an incredible competitor. This is without a doubt the toughest test Tito's ever faced.
Randy Couture, 40 years old, two-time heavyweight champion, now the interim champion of the light heavyweight division. Speaking of the light heavyweights, we have Randy now. We have, of course, Tito Ortiz, Vitor Belfort, Chuck Liddell, Rich Franklin. Shall I go on? Because I can.
The most talent-rich pool in all of mixed martial arts is a 205-pound light heavyweight division. There are so many incredible fighters. We have the Iceman, Chuck Liddell. We see here this devastating first-round knockout over Alistar Overeem in the Pride Grand Prix. Chuck Liddell, despite losing to Randy Couture, is always a threat. Devastating striker, an incredible competitor. the phenom, Vitor Belfort. Vicious striker, vicious jiu-jitsu black belt, an incredible fighter, and one of the most explosive guys to ever step into the octagon.
And a man who will be featured on the card tonight, also a light heavyweight, and a man who wants to be a factor in this division is Rich Franklin.
Rich Franklin, who looks like Jim Carrey's evil brother. This guy has the full package, and in destroying Evan Tanner, rocketed himself to the top of the 205-pound division.
205-pound division is rich, it is deep. It will be featured here tonight, the light heavyweight championship between Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture. Not one but two belts are on the line. How about the battle of the giants for the heavyweight belt? For the first time ever, Big Tim Sylvia will defend his belt. Sylvia comes in at 6'8". The Maniac goes against 6'10" McGee. Both weigh 265 pounds. The middleweights, the Canadian David Loiseau, devastating against Mark Weir. The debut for former construction worker building a mixed martial arts career will feature Jorge Rivera. And then the light heavyweights, as we spoke of. 1-0 in the octagon, 14-0 in mixed martial arts. That man is Rich Franklin. His opponent tonight is making his UFC debut. He holds 27 mixed martial arts wins. Edwin Babyface DeWees. What an exciting night we have in store for you. UFC 44, Undisputed. The rules of the octagon. As always, 3 judges will score the bout. The bout duration, 3 5-minute rounds, or for our 2 championship fights, 5 5-minute rounds. As always, a 10-point must system is in effect. The round winner gaining the 10 points. His opponent 9 or less based on effective striking, grappling, aggression, and octagon control. In the USA Today, Danny Sheraton calls Tim Sylvia the favorite to defeat Gan McGee and defend his heavyweight title. And Tito Ortiz, a 2-1 favorite over Randy the Natural Couture for the light heavyweight championship. Here at the Mandalay Bay, Sylvia is the favorite, as is Tito Ortiz, and we'll keep an eye on Jorge Rivera taking on David Loiseau.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tonight, Zuffa presents the finest mixed martial artists in the world who will all compete in the ultimate proving ground, the Octagon. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions of UFC fans watching around the world, it's time to begin the Ultimate Fighting Championship!
As we mentioned, top of the show, the depth of the light heavyweight division astounding. We get to see Rich Franklin take on Edwin DeWees. Up next is a light heavyweight bout that should be action-packed. Undefeated light heavyweight Rich Franklin exploded onto the UFC scene at UFC 42, where he demolished highly regarded contender Evan Tanner in 2 minutes and 40 seconds.
The game plan was not to clinch with him. Not that I didn't think I could clinch with him, but it was just our game plan, stay out of what he does best. And that's what we stuck to, and the plan just unfolded perfectly my way.
Edwin Babyface DeWees likes to get fights over quickly. He won in the first round by submission 20 times. While he is best known for his submissions, this 21-year-old fighter feels confident he can pull off the upset over the more well-known Franklin.
In my 40 fights, I've always been the underdog, and that's the way I like it, to come out from the bottom and be on top.
Up next, Edwin Babyface DeWees versus Rich Franklin. From Phoenix, Arizona, 21 years old. Yeah, he does have a baby face, but he is experienced in the world of mixed martial arts. Edwin Babyface DeWees, 75% of his wins by first-round submission.
This kid started fighting when he was 17 years old. He's got a wealth of experience. He's a very good jiu-jitsu fighter. fast starter, and he's got a high percentage of finishes. Finishes most of his opponents, but then again, he hasn't been fighting opponents that are the caliber of Rich Franklin.
Octagon debut for Edwin DeWees. 6'1", 205 pounds. Including his fights in the Rage in the Cage events in Arizona, he has nearly 30 wins in mixed martial arts. A big opportunity for a young man. Nicknamed Ace, will he be #1 eventually here in the light heavyweight division? Certainly Rich Franklin believes in his skills. Born and raised in the Queen City, Cincinnati, Ohio.
Rich Franklin's a true mixed martial artist. You look at the look on his face, very composed. He's a true warrior. This guy's got excellent skills grappling, excellent skills striking, and I was very impressed with his composure when he came out against mixed martial arts veteran Evan Tanner and totally dismantled him.
Opened a lot of eyes with that victory in his UFC debut at UFC 42 in Miami. Used lateral footwork well, used the angles well, and many are talking about this man potentially being the next big thing.
Oh, absolutely. He's very composed, like I said before. I mean, he just looked like he belonged in the octagon against Evan Tanner and made Evan Tanner look very bad, which is a very difficult thing to do.
So we begin our night here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in the light heavyweight division. Tail of the tape throughout the evening brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. 7 years older is Franklin. He does have 6 pounds on the babyface, Edwin DeWees. They are both 6'1". For the official introductions of this, our first matchup of the night, the veteran voice of the Octagon, here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this first fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. He is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and submission fighting expert who holds a mixed martial arts record of 27 wins and 6 losses. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 198 pounds. Fighting out of Phoenix, Arizona, please welcome Edwin Babyface DeWees. And his opponent, standing across the octagon to my right. This man is a freestyle fighting expert with a mixed martial arts record of 14 wins with no losses. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio, please welcome Rich Franklin.
That's an educated young man, bachelor's degree in mathematics, master's degree in education. He wants to school DeWees tonight. Sean Brockmole will be our referee to get things started. DeWees.
Ready? You ready?
And
Let's
Franklin.
fight!
And here we go. The evening is underway.
And there is a rumor going around that Rich Franklin has a torn groin muscle and he wants to avoid going to the ground. Nice knee by Franklin to tie up.
Oh, he's down. To the ground it'll go, courtesy of DeWees. Half guard. DeWees in the camouflage shorts with the blonde hair. Franklin and the black and white trim. One thing about Franklin, he always feels his team devises a very good game plan, and he's very confident in being patient. DeWees really wants to push the action, Joe.
Yeah, Franklin's got his knee through. Well, he lost it there. He had his knee through. He's going for full guard.
Babyface
Standing
with
up.
27 mixed
Oh, he's got a
martial arts
guillotine.
wins, trying to finish it early.
DeWees got the guillotine in. If he gets... Oh, he's out. Franklin's going to look to back out. Bring it back to his feet.
Now remember, we said 75% of DeWees' wins have been by first-round submission. He was looking for a submission there. DeWees seems confident.
He looks very composed for a young kid. He loves being the underdog. He said this is a good place for him. He likes coming out and just proving that everybody's wrong.
Proximity to home is pretty darn good too. Phoenix, Arizona. Lots of family and friends here to support him tonight in his UFC debut. Big opportunity for this young man.
He was actually smiling when the referee was reading the announcements.
Well, it's a dream come true, isn't it? Be in the UFC stage. For Franklin, you have to go back to Extreme Challenge 41 to find a fight that has gone past the first round. So both are accustomed to finishing things quickly. 3 5-minute rounds scheduled for all matchups except our 2 championship matchups, which, as we mentioned, are 5 5-minute rounds.
Nice Nice uppercut by Franklin inside. Nice knees. If the rumors are true, and Rich Franklin does have a torn groin muscle, I hope he didn't take this fight lightly.
In this day and age, with the caliber of mixed martial artists that make their way to the UFC, I don't think it's wise to take any fight lightly anymore, is it?
Absolutely, especially when someone gets to the big show. When they get to the there's a big right hand. DeWees is hurt.
DeWees is hurt.
He's down.
Franklin trying to finish it quickly. That one stunned DeWees. The big right.
DeWees is all right.
Franklin happy to bring it to the
Back
feet.
up. Wow, look at him. Comes right to him. Whoa. DeWees is a gamer. That kid's tough. Look at him. He wants to give it back. Oh, nice knee by Franklin.
Franklin teams up. And that time he had the hands on the back of the neck for a little extra leverage.
Oh, he's rocked.
And down
Rocked him
goes
with the left.
DeWees down. Franklin jumps and tries to finish quickly.
DeWees is hanging in there. But Franklin's landing some shots.
He's been stunned twice here in the first round.
Look at DeWees like the Terminator. Back up.
Down again.
Oh, whoa.
Kick to the midsection.
Which is allowed. Kick to the head when you're down is not. Which Franklin
trying to make
some
short
bombs.
work of it, Joe.
Nice knee to the body.
DeWees seems overmatched here. And if Franklin does have any type of injury, you know he wants to finish it as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. But you know what? The adrenaline masks a lot of the pain anyway. Nice knees to the body. DeWees is stuck there. He's got to get out. Oh,
the referee has stopped the fight. Edwin DeWees overwhelmed by Rich Franklin.
That's a dangerous man.
Is the next big thing in the light heavyweight division.
If they didn't believe it then, they're going to believe it now. That's a very, very competitive fighter right there. He matches up well with almost anyone. Here's the replay. Rocked him with the knee. Rocked him with that left hand. And again with the left hand. DeWees was tough. He hung in there. He took some punishment. And he kept coming back for more. That was a body shot that took him down. Once Franklin had him pinned up against the fence, though, that was all she wrote. It was just more punishment from there.
And a good stoppage by the referee.
Rich Franklin's skills, like I said, match up well with almost anyone. That is a very excellent martial artist right there.
So Franklin, 15-0 now in his mixed martial arts career.
I'm very impressed with Rich Franklin. Especially if he came to this fight with a torn groin muscle.
Wow. Franklin victorious. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 3 minutes 35 seconds of the very first round. By the winner, by TKO, Rich Franklin!
Rich Franklin, a threat to anyone at 205 pounds.
So we continue to go back many, many appearances to the last time a fight has gone further than the first round for Rich Franklin. Eddie Bravo's up in the octagon. Eddie.
I'm here with the winner, Rich Franklin. Congratulations on a big win. There was rumors that you hurt your groin. Is there any truth to that?
Yeah, I've had a pulled groin for about 2 months now. I've been trying to nurse it, having difficulty training and stuff.
Okay, we're gonna look at the replays right now. This is when you hurt him early in the fight. Take me through it.
Well, I'm sitting up here on the fence. I was sinking some knees in the body, and I knew that they were hurting, and he leaned over. I shot that one to the head. I don't think it landed flush. Kind of got in there a little bit, but he fell.
Here's the end of the fight here with the body shots with the knees.
Yeah, he was doing a good job covering the head. I was trying to finish him, and the body was open, so he wasn't moving the hips, and I thought, well, I'll take it. And that's what happened.
All right, congratulations, Rich. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Eddie, thank you very much, and congratulations goes to Rich Franklin. He is a victor in just over 3.5 minutes. He finishes off Edwin DeWees here in the first round. UFC 44 is being hosted by Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Elegance and excitement on the Las Vegas Strip. Brought to you by TDK Media Active. Publishers of UFC Tap Out 2 on the Xbox video game system from Microsoft. Now on sale. By the Gordon Biersch Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. Black Ice Raging Energizer, an all-natural dietary supplement. Can you handle it? Found at TryBlackIce.com. Check out our new 100-count bottle and buy 2 to get 1 free. CMX Sports and Entertainment. That's entertainment. By Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. And brought to you by UFC 21st Century Sports with your host Al Bernstein. Catch the story of the history, evolution, and revolution of the UFC on TV everywhere. Tonight, the UFC plays Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, the sold-out Mandalay Bay Event Center. And this is just the start of a huge opportunity for the UFC to continue to grow, to continue to become mainstream, to continue to prove to all it is the greatest combat in the world. UFC 45 will mark the return of 2 great strikers. Ruthless Robbie Lawler suffered a torn hip flexor in this UFC 42 match against Pete Spratt. He's ready to rock and rumble again. Also, the New York badass Phil Baroni is healthy. After suffering a torn pectoral muscle and having surgery, his rehab has gone great. He's stronger than ever. He'll take on Evan Tanner. Another fighter who wants a shot at the light heavyweight title is the Iceman Chuck Liddell. Successful in August was Liddell when he went to the Pride organization in Japan as a UFC representative and won his fight. And another mixed martial artist has hit the big screen. This time it's Boss Rutan in The Eliminator, coming to a theater near you. Factor. It's not the Man Show, it's the Eliminator for Boss Rutan.
Boss Rutan, one of my favorite mixed martial arts fighters of all time, making it to the big screen.
Congratulations. We will look for Boss Rutan to swing a little bit. And speaking of swinging, how about Chuck Liddell continuing to have success as a UFC representative fighting in Pride?
Chuck Liddell, angry and obsessed, wants to reclaim victory, wants to get a rematch with Randy Couture. And in the meantime, he wants to take out everybody at Pride and let them know that the UFC fighters are the best fighters in the world.
Let's talk about the 2 great strikers who are healthy again. Phil Baroni is scheduled to fight Evan Tanner. Evan Tanner will come down a weight division for UFC 45. Robbie Lawler, ruthless Robbie Lawler, will be back as well.
New York badass Phil Baroni recovering from pectoral surgery. Phil Baroni's a devastating striker, and we saw in Evan Tanner's last bout, he had a hard time at 205 fighting against Rick Franklin. Now he wants to take a cue from his teammate, Randy Couture, drop down a weight class and try success against a very powerful striker.
Our next event in November, well, we have so much here tonight from the Mandalay Bay Event Center, beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. 2 belts are on the line, heavyweight belt, light heavyweight belt. Oh my goodness, we are just getting started here at UFC 44. Undisputed. The Crow David Loiseau, well decorated in his home nation. A multiple mixed martial arts champion in Canada. A middleweight matchup against Jorge Rivera now. Next up is a middleweight fight that should be an absolute slugfest. Canadian David the Crow Loiseau made his UFC debut wrecking tough English fighter Mark Weir in 3 minutes and 55 seconds of the first round at UFC 42.
I'm a mixed martial artist, a true one. You know, I can do stand up and ground like with the best of them. So I'm confident whether in the clinch, whether standing up, whether on the ground. So I'm prepared for anything.
Jorge El Conquistador Rivera is known as a heavy-handed finisher, and he wants to make his UFC debut a spectacular one.
I think I want it more. I think I'm a better fighter. You know, I think as good as he is, I'm better.
2 knockout artists looking to prove that they belong among the elite in the middleweight division. Jorge El Conquistador Rivera versus David the Crow Loiseau. I'll tell you what, these 2 are very closely matched. Very closely matched. The 2 flags being displayed. And behind the competitor, making his UFC debut, El Conquistador, Jorge Rivera. Team Elite, this man is very heavy-handed. Both want to stand up. Born in Framingham, Massachusetts, fighting out of Milford, Mass. He says, I'm 100% Puerto Rican from my mother and father. I'm proud of my heritage, my ethnic background, and know that the people of Puerto Rico have a fighting spirit. He wants to make his people proud tonight.
Jorge Rivera is a very dangerous striker, but he's got his work cut out for him. Debuting against David Loiseau. Loiseau is also a great striker with great ground skills, and Jorge's looking to keep this on his feet and try to blast Loiseau out.
Some creative headwear as entering the ring is 31-year-old Jorge Rivera. His biggest weapon in a fight, he has simply stated many times, his striking ability.
He's got excellent snap in his hands, capable of knocking out anyone.
Big opportunity for this 31-year-old experienced fighter. His opponent is known as the Crow. And there he is, David Loiseau, well-decorated champion in Canada. French-Canadian, born and raised in Montreal. UCC World Middleweight Champion. Canadian Middleweight Champion. Canadian Jiu-Jitsu Champion. Canadian Amateur Kickboxing Champion. Explosive. Transitional. His nickname is the Crow. It was given to him by his high school football teammates. In French, Loiseau means bird, and since he's black, that gave him the nickname of Blackbird, a crow.
How creative. Well, the perfect description of him is champion. I mean, this guy is a true mixed martial artist. You said before, he's a jiu-jitsu champion and a kickboxing champion. He can work in both levels. He can work on the ground, he can work standing up. Very impressive debut against Mark Weir, who's an effective grappler and effective striker himself. But Loiseau took him out of a game plan, pressed him up against the fence, and blasted him unconscious. A true mixed martial artist.
Our tale of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. We should note that 23-year-old David Loiseau, when he originally weighed in yesterday, was 4 pounds over. He has made the required weight of 185 or below. He is much younger than his opponent, Jorge Rivera, the Canadian against the American, in a battle of middleweight competitors. For the official introductions, let's go to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. This man is a mixed martial arts expert who holds a record of 6 wins and 1 loss. Standing 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 184 pounds. Fighting out of Milford, Massachusetts. Please welcome El Conquistador, Jorge And introducing his opponent standing across the octagon to my right. This man is a boxing and wrestling expert. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 9 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 185 pounds. Fighting out of Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Please welcome David the Crow Loiseau.
Loiseau looks huge for 185 pounds. At the weigh-in, like you said, he was 4 pounds overweight, and I guarantee you he's way over that now.
Larry Landless, our referee. The debut for Rivera, the second matchup for Loiseau. And we are set.
You ready?
Rivera.
Let's rock and roll.
Loiseau, ready to rock and roll.
Let's see, here it goes. Loiseau didn't like standing with Weir, and he took him to the ground. Let's see if he likes it with Rivera.
Now, both do like the stand-up, although, as you pointed out, he didn't like it the last time.
Well, he's a very smart fighter. If he doesn't think he's getting the best of it, he can move on all levels. He can take a guy down, or he can stand up with him.
It's fun to see him go toe-to-toe, and that is a big possibility. Rivera comes quickly.
See, there you see it. He's like we said before, he's a true mixed martial artist, and he's a smart fighter.
Loiseau, a huge fan of Roy Jones Jr. Likes to emulate his striking. But obviously, he's got the well-versed game of a mixed martial artist.
Nice knee inside by Loiseau.
Watch his knee.
Right to the
Watch
cup.
his knee.
Middleweights 185 and below. Shot to the solar plexus.
Yeah, Rivera's an excellent puncher. see who gets the best of this. Oh, just missed with a big right hand by Loiseau.
As an amateur, Rivera actually beat Tim Sylvia in a mixed martial arts competition. That was as an amateur. Now he's trying to add on to his 6 pro fights. And his 6-1 MMA record.
How did those guys ever want to fight?
That's an excellent question.
It's like UFC 1.
Whoever comes in, let's lock the gate and go. Oh, how this sport has evolved since that point.
Yeah, because he's not even that big, a 185. And Tim Sylvia is a huge 265-pound guy.
And he was probably more than that then.
You'll see Tim Sylvia later tonight defending his UFC heavyweight title against Gan McGee.
First defense for Tim Sylvia. Highlighted matchup, light heavyweight. Title fight between Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture. Still great fights ahead.
Loiseau keeps trying to get double underhooks. Rivera wisely avoids it. Oh, nice inside tie clinch. And nice right hand, too. Good dirty boxing by Loiseau.
And Rivera fights right back. We could see the slugfest that we want. You can tell Loiseau.
You can tell right off the bat that Rivera's a seasoned striker.
Former construction worker, laborers local 609, Framingham, Massachusetts. Man's worked hard his entire life. And Rivera normally competed at 205, so he's come down for this fight as well. Loiseau had to come down to make weight, basically.
Nice right hand on Loiseau inside, a nice elbow also.
That's that clinch, that's that Randy Couture dirty boxing.
Absolutely.
Matt Lindland.
Jens Pulver's a big fan of that as well. Loiseau got rocked there with that a little bit. Oh, he smiled. He smiled, tried to throw him off, which almost always means he got hurt. If someone's bleeding, there's a little bit of blood on Rivera's back.
Could be on the back of the head of Jorge Rivera. Yeah, it is. It's on the head of Jorge Rivera, and Larry Landis is going to have Leon Tabs take a look at that cut.
That's a weird place for a cut.
It sure is. And obviously anything in the head area, especially with the blood pumping, going to gush a little bit.
Yeah, wow, look at it.
Yeah. It's a gash on the left side. There it is.
Whoa. That is a weird cut. Probably from one of those inside elbows. Loiseau landed a couple of really good inside elbows. And that's the effect of it right there.
They're going to switch corners. The doctors have said everything's fine and keep her going on. Clock stops here in round 1.
That cut's still bleeding.
Yep, and it's going to from that area.
Absolutely. The forehead is one of the worst places. Anywhere on the top of your head, you bleed a lot.
How about that gash Marvin Eastman took? Oh,
that was the worst I've ever seen.
No question. Rivera, though, no hesitation.
Loiseau again, he ties him up. Throws those inside right hands and elbows.
Ducks under and then gets the underhooks and then tries to dirty box a bit.
Nice body shots inside by Rivera. This is a very unusual fight. These guys are basically operating from the clinch and just blasting each other. You don't really see that too much in the UFC. Knees and elbows and punches, all from the clinch.
Loiseau stated before this matchup, last time he felt he fought good. Thought he was very, very good against Mark Greer. This time he expects to fight great. A lot of credit to Jorge Rivera and his striking ability. Jorge, the US MMA and hook and shoot light heavyweight champion.
Again,
way through the
right
ranks.
elbow. He's just got a nasty right elbow inside. Very effective. Obviously from the cut, you can tell it's doing some damage.
Good look at it from that camera angle. Under a minute remains in round 1. This fight's scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
I like how he does that. He gets inside, he palms the back of Rivera's head, and then slides over with an elbow.
As decorated a champion as there is in Canada, the UCC now called TKO. Also with a win over Tony Kirkland out of the Heritage camp in his mixed martial arts career.
By the same way, as a matter of fact, by elbows across a nasty cut. You've seen the pictures on the internet. Kirkland was bleeding and he was in a horrible bleed.
10 seconds.
10 seconds remains in round number 1.
Loiseau's got double underhooks. Looks like he's trying to take Rivera down as the bell rings.
Good first round. That one's going to be tough to call. Both through. Both connected. Both did some damage.
Absolutely. I give an edge to Loiseau, though. I think he did a little more damage, and again, very effective with that clinch and those elbows inside. Let's take a look at those in the replay. Boom. There's another one. See that elbow? Oh, down. Very nice. Notice how he points his hand down, so the point of the elbow is what's making contact. And that's what's gonna cut you.
You're killing him. You're killing him. Take your time. Keep doing what you're doing. Just be careful on the brakes. Are things affecting you at all at the body? Perfect.
See the cut man applying some ointment. Those cuts trying to stop the bleeding.
Small one on the top, but we saw the one on the side of the head.
And that's both on the same side where Loiseau's landing those effective elbows.
Very confident corner of David Loiseau. You heard with the French accent. His cornerman talking about that he's controlled the matchup so far, and he has. Set for the second round. A great show of respect in this sport. You get inside the octagon and you got guts, plain and simple.
Rivera's got to avoid the clinch. He's got to avoid the clinch and try to box and kick on the outside. There he goes, nice leg kick.
Seemed like every time he went for the right, Loiseau ducked under it, Joe, and then he was able to get that clinch and with the dirty boxing.
Well, you know what? They fought the first round in the clinch, and now, whoa, nice right hand by Loiseau. Right as I was going to say, they were probably going to fight the second one from the outside. They clinch up again. Nice knees to the legs.
Both are trying to do the same thing. No sign of the ground game here, is there?
No, these guys want to stand. Punishing each other's legs inside like that.
Don't forget your website of choice, UFC.tv. Great UFC programming in October. Log on for the latest and the greatest networks and times. A bunch of new DVDs are out and available with exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the fighters and the fights at UFC.tv. Check it out now.
Loiseau just landed another one of those elbows and stepped outside.
.35 remains in round number 2.
Another elbow. See, he throws it like a punch. He wins that thing. Very common there. You see Loiseau sees everything. Jorge's throwing all those shots. Loiseau just covering up and moving away from him. Very composed champion.
This is certainly a huge opportunity for Loiseau to continue to show his skills south of his border.
Absolutely, like you said before, TKO, formerly the UCC champion, wants to become the UFC middleweight champion.
Well, the definition of a fight is a conflict of two wills. And these guys are willing it out right now.
Another elbow.
A construction worker trying to build himself a little mixed martial arts career.
Jorge's got to do something to stop that right elbow of David Loiseau's, or he's going to get cut open even worse. That's what Loiseau's famous for. He throws it with speed like a punch. A lot of guys don't do that. They throw it. They're not that comfortable with the elbow. It's more of like a plodding, pushing motion. You see him, it whips. It whips, and his hand is pointed down, so the point of his elbow is what makes contact. And a lot of times it looks like he misses the punch, but he's missing it on purpose to actually land the elbow. The tie clinch by Loiseau.
The key to that knee is having those hands, as you said, clinched on the back of the neck. You pull and you push at the same time, and bam. Short body shots. Yeah, Byron. There's that elbow again. Exactly what you spoke of, Joe.
Rivera can take it though. It just bounces off his head.
Forward motion by Jorge Rivera that time.
Loiseau's blocking all those shots though. Jorge's throwing a lot of shots, but Loiseau's not getting hurt by those.
Under 90 seconds remains in round 2. Pace is slowed a bit.
They're expending a lot of energy pushing against each other constantly. It's going to be hard to keep this pace.
Elbows have landed though, landed consistently.
This is just constant strain and resistance when they're tying up like this. They're constantly trying to get a better position and push. This expends a lot of energy. Another elbow.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Pace is definitely slowed down here.
Now there's control, and that is owned by David Loiseau.
See, again, he throws that, whips that elbow.
Showing no frontal. Now he's set. And they're in the middle of the ring. Rivera continues to try to come.
Nice body shot over there.
Keeping his head protected, and Rivera noticed and adjusted and got a good shot in, as you mentioned. A couple of uppercuts. And across the top of the defense. See if Rivera can make a statement to the judges here at the end of this second round.
Good knee inside by Loiseau. Loiseau looks a little bit tired, though. It looks like Rivera's coming on here. But when I say that, Loiseau comes on.
And we have completed 2 of the 3 scheduled rounds.
Some blood coming out of the nose of David Loiseau.
Star-studded evening here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. That man's a superstar. Fernando Vargas. Wonder what he thinks of these boys' striking skills.
He loves the UFC. He's a big fan. I actually flew back. I was sitting right in front of him the Miami fight. And we talked about the UFC for about an hour and a half. Real cool guy.
What did he think most of it?
He just loves it. Just loves it. You know, there's so many fighters that love the UFC. A lot of these boxers, they really respect these guys' martial arts. Look at this cuts. There's 2 nasty openings on top of Rivera's head. And you know what? If he keeps taking those elbows, he's going to get another one. I was saying before, all these boxers, they totally respect the mixed martial artists now.
Here's the shark, Jerry Tarkanian. Longtime head basketball coach of the Running Rebels of UNLV. Won a national championship with Larry Johnson and the boys right down the street at the Thomas and Mack Center. He's a local hero. Celebrity Jam tonight here at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. The sights are spectacular. The hairdos in some cases are questionable.
How about the lips?
The lips are okay.
Did God make those? Dr. God?
4:45 remains here, just underway in round 3, and now Rivera still pressing the action forward. He's starting to catch Loiseau.
So Loiseau's backing up straight, which is a no-no in boxing. You're backing up straight, all the guy has to do is time how far you're moving back. You've got to have some side movement there. Rivera's an excellent striker.
Loiseau has body shots to take Rivera.
Look at those, look at those. Good body shot by Rivera. If Loiseau's tired, those are going to make him even more tired.
Good fighting spirit here by Rivera. Starting to break down Loiseau a bit.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Loiseau's tiring.
Now I wonder if that's the effect of being 4 pounds over, having to cut the weight to make the weight. That will work on the body.
Absolutely, it definitely doesn't help. When you dehydrate yourself, without a doubt, you lose some stamina. And Loiseau was really big. He weighed in at 189, which is 4 pounds over the limit. So you know he was way higher than that before he started cutting. A lot of these guys are 10, 15 pounds over the weight. They cut down in order to be the biggest they could possibly be at that weight class. But that can work against you. We've seen it many times in the past. As a matter of fact, Dennis Hallman, when he fought Jens Pulver at 155 pounds, basically couldn't do anything.
Right.
Because he had lost so much weight that he just literally had no energy. Ken Shamrock also felt when he cut down to 205 to fight Tito Ortiz, that was a mistake. He drained it. It's a very tricky business. Tito Ortiz has that down to a science. You're going to see later on tonight, when they were standing at the weigh-ins, Tito and Randy together, Randy Couture was the heavyweight champion, moved down to 205 pounds. Tito still is way bigger. Tito's an enormous 205-pound guy.
Usually fights at around 218 to 220.
And he's just a scientist at cutting weight perfectly. Weighs in 205 pounds on the nugget, steps off, drinks a couple gallons of Gatorade, eats some food, is back to full weight.
We will look forward to that matchup still tonight.
Good shots by Loiseau inside.
Final round nearly halfway to completed. 2 minutes and 37 seconds remains in the fight. Loiseau and Rivera. And Loiseau does seem like, look at him shaking the arms out, Joe.
Yeah, he missed that one.
He doesn't have that snap. He doesn't have that snap.
Like I said before, that inside tap, nice shots by Rivera. Rivera's coming on here.
He sure is. Rivera still has the snap. And he seems to have much more energy than David Loiseau.
Nice knee to the body. That's the same side of the body that's been punished by those punches. Loiseau looks hurt. attrition. Those guys pulling and pushing on each other, trying to get position in the clinch. That's a lot of energy they're expending, and it looks like Loiseau is coming out of the bottom line. Good uppercut. And he's wrong. He's going down.
Continuing to connect. Rivera taking it to Loiseau. Jorge Rivera.
Wow, Loiseau's tough. I thought he was going down there. He's a little wobbly, though. Damn.
And Jorge Rivera sniffs it. He smells it. He knows victory could be imminent. Let's see if he comes hard again. Loiseau will wait and try to time for the counter.
I don't know if Loiseau even has enough energy to take him down at this point. Doesn't really want to clinch anymore.
His nose is bleeding. Blood out of the left side of the nose of David Loiseau.
They're both taking a little breather here, signing each other up.
Loiseau ducks through it.
Nice knee inside to Rivera. He keeps punishing Loiseau's body, and that's going to make him even tireder.
Rivera threw a lot of punches there, and now he seems to have slowed.
Absolutely.
And he had him. He had him right near the brink.
He had him, but he probably was aware that he was gassing himself out.
Yep.
He wanted to be able to explode. It's a calculated thing when you're in there. They have to figure out how much energy do I explode. Do I keep exploding and die myself and gas myself out, and then take a chance that Loiseau's going to come back and I'm not going to have enough energy to defend? So it's constantly a calculation while they're in there. Ooh, nice right hand.
Right near where he was cut in the first round early in the fight. This is going to be very, very close on the judges' scorecards.
Absolutely. I have Rivera winning this round for sure, though.
Loiseau was dominant in the first. The second was extremely close. 15 seconds remains. Rivera trying to finish with a flurry. Loiseau closing in. Rivera combination. Down goes David Loiseau. And that in itself may very well have won Jorge Rivera the fight.
Loiseau got up and he is really rocked. He's really wobbly.
I mean, that is literally saved by the bell. That is saved by the end of the round.
If there was 30 seconds left in that fight, it's very possible David Loiseau would have gotten knocked out. Maybe not even 30, maybe 10. He got up very wobbly. Let's take a look at the end of the fight here in the replay. Good right hand by Rivera. Loiseau's rocked. See his legs give out from under him? Then just takes right hand after right hand.
That may very well have been the last push that Rivera needed on the judges'
Here's early in the
scorecards.
round. Rivera just landing shots. Loiseau looks very wobbly here. Rivera's got tremendous heart. He hung in there from Loiseau beating him down in the first round. And I think he did enough to pull this fight out.
I'm sure he thinks so. Amanda has worked his way through the ranks.
Ugh, look at that nasty cut.
Take some threat later tonight. Show of class and sportsmanship. And Loiseau's even saying that Rivera beat him.
Loiseau's a very classy guy.
That is a classy move right there.
Absolutely, before the judge's decision. You know what? And I guarantee you, if for some crazy reason they give it to Loiseau, which isn't that crazy, I guarantee Loiseau will raise Rivera's hand again.
Yep.
Very classy champion.
That's the one thing that I think people have a misconception about the mixed martial artist of today. These are not bullies coming off the street. This is not tough, man. These are highly trained athletes who dedicate their life to the sport of mixed martial arts. And they don't often consider it a fight. They consider it the greatest competition there is in the world.
Absolutely, and these guys have tremendous amount of respect for each other's skills, tremendous amount of respect for each other as athletes and competitors, and they're constantly learning from each other. Oftentimes, guys fight each other, just, you know, battle it out, and then they're training with each other a couple months later, learning from each other on different techniques. It's a tremendous sport.
The epitome of the modern-day mixed martial artist may be that man. Many consider him to be the most dangerous fighter in the world.
Tito Ortiz backstage taking pictures with movie stars.
He's ready to go. Look at, is he ever ready to go? The Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture. Later tonight, let's get the decision. The judges' cards have been handed to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Nelson Hamilton scores the bout 29-28. Judge Cecil Peoples scores the bout 29-27. And Judge Tony Weeks scores the bout 29-28 for the winner by unanimous decision, El Conquistador, Jorge
Rivera.
So just as David Loiseau thought it would be, Jorge Rivera wins by unanimous decision. And congratulations goes to Jorge Rivera. Let's go up in the octagon and check in with our own Eddie Bravo. Eddie.
I'm here with winner Jorge Rivera. Jorge, congratulations on a big win. You suffered a nasty cut. Obviously, it didn't affect you physically, but did it affect you mentally in the fight?
I just want to first and foremost thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for blessing me with the strength and courage to compete. You are the first and you're the last, good Lord, the Alpha and the Omega, and I will always praise your name. What was your question?
We're going to take a look at the replay right now. We're going to take it. This is early in the first round where you rocked him. Take us through this.
I wanted to keep the fight on my feet. I felt I had a better chance of defeating him on my feet. I just played it as it came. As you see here, I'm just trying to land some shots. He was playing very defensive, so I don't know.
And here's the end of the fight. Take us through this, George.
I knew it was 10 seconds left. The fight was kind of close, and I just wanted to make sure that I went out swinging, and that's what happened. I thank God for that. I want to thank my sponsors, Pinto Realty, Online Communications, Atlantic Blasting, LendingZone.net, Allied Mortgage, Stardust Jewelers, Doyle Siding, Labor's Local 609, what up, Chris Murphy, Paul Coffey, Peter Bella, John Ragazzino, Kenny Doyle, Steve Lombardi, my brother Hugo, Paul Mastriani, Nick Michelada, everybody in Milford, Massachusetts. Milford, I love you. You're home to me. And to the Boston Red Sox, we're going to make it happen this year. Boston's in the house. Yankees suck.
All right, once again, congratulations. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Oh, I love it. A true Boston Red Sox fan.
A victory, and then he yells out, Yankees suck.
Oh, you know what? That may anger the New York badass Phil Baroni. One man who is angry is Randy the Natural Couture, the classiest champion in the history of
Listen
the UFC.
to the crowd. That's Captain America right there, ladies and gentlemen.
40 years old. Yes, 40 years old. You think he's good at 40? Wait till you see what we have ahead at UFC 45.
On November 21st, live on pay-per-view, the next 10 years of the Ultimate Fighting Championship will begin. It's a revolution in the making that will show the world the UFC is ready to activate, elevate, and dominate the sport of mixed martial arts. Friday, November 21st, live on pay-per-view, the 10th anniversary of the UFC sets the revolution in motion.
So our welterweight champion Matt Hughes will defend his title out of the Milicic camp. Lawler and Baroni are back. That'll be fantastic. And Tank Abbott, Joe, takes on Cabbage.
Tank Abbott taking on the most colorful new guy in the heavyweight division, the one and only Cabbage. One of my personal favorite fighters, and a guy who's guaranteed to give you an unbelievable stand-up war, which is exactly what Tank wants.
Coming up next, the heavyweight championship. First title defense right here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada, for the man known as the Maniac, Tim the Maniac Sylvia, against 6'10" Gan McGee. Sylvia, pinpoint punching accuracy, devastating in his win so far against a big man, in fact a bigger man in Gan McGee. The heavyweight championship is coming up next. And don't forget, speaking of heavyweights, Joe, Tank and his man, Wesley Carrera, Cabbage.
I'm here with the man, Cabbage, stepping up UFC 45 facing Tank Abbott. Tell us what you think about that fight.
Just Tank better be ready for me in November. I'm gonna go there, train hard, and we'll see who's dead and knocked out that night, huh?
You talked to me about it yesterday. You were saying you're gonna knock him down and then step away and let him get back up again.
Yeah, I'm gonna take his heart, everything. I'm gonna stand up, knock him down, take 3 steps back, make him stand back up, drop him down again, make him stand back up, keep on dropping him.
Now, I know you have a vested interest in this fight tonight for the UFC heavyweight title, and you're hoping that Tim Sylvia pulls it out because you want a rematch.
That's correct. I want Tim Sylvia to win because I want to be the one to take the belt away from his waist.
We're going to take a look at your last fight in the UFC versus Sean Alvarez. Now, people look at physiques, and sometimes they get the wrong impression. You look at these two guys, you would think that Sean Alvarez might have a little advantage, but it wasn't so on that night.
It wasn't. That body's all twisted steel and sex appeal, bro.
Well, I'm not going to argue with you, man. Good luck in UFC 45 against Tank Abbott. It's going to be a fantastic bout for sure.
Thanks.
Cabbage, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Cabbage.
Thank you, Joe Rogan. We look forward to seeing Cabbage forthcoming against David Tank Abbott, who told me recently he promises to be better than ever. Now it's time for the big one, for the heavyweight championship. Tim Sylvia, 6'8", against 6'10", Gan McGee. The two largest men ever to fight for a UFC title collide tonight for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. The champion, Tim the Maniac Sylvia, stands 6'8" and weighs 260 pounds. He is undefeated at 17-0, finishing 15 of 17 opponents.
When I fought Rico Rodriguez, I was a huge underdog, and I liked that. I liked being the underdog. It was a huge drive for me, knowing that he thought he could beat me that easily. Gan's a tough guy, and some guys, when they get the belt, they kind of relax. Not me. I want to keep this belt for a long time, so I trained just as hard, if not harder, for this fight. The game plan is to keep my hands up and throw the straight punches right down the pipe and knock them out.
The challenger, Gan the Giant McGee, stands 6'10" and weighs 265. His mixed martial arts record is 12-1, and he is known for finishing most of his opponents in the first round.
After beating Pedro Hizo, I think that kind of showed it too. If I can knock that guy, you know, and take him out with a strike standing, then I can do it to anyone. I think I definitely have the ability to strike with him. I definitely have the ability to take him down and finish him on the ground.
Up next, Tim the Maniac Sylvia versus Gan the Giant McGee for the UFC World Heavyweight Championship. Wow. Over 500 pounds will collide here tonight. Gan McGee. Northern Coal, Black Blood Diesel, Zupa Music, his entrance music of choice. 26 years old. He uses his wrestling in reverse. He is a fearsome striker. He is also an outstanding wrestler.
Absolutely, Mike. He's a protege of John Hackleman, who also trains Chuck Liddell in the pit. And this guy is just like Chuck Liddell in the fact that he's a striker who's also a very good wrestler. He avoids a takedown and wants to keep guys on their feet and blast them outstanding. Excellent striker and an excellent wrestler. A very, very strong guy.
And not afraid to fight against the best and strike against the best, as evidenced above the fight that he spoke of at UFC 39 against Pedro the Rock Hizo. He's loopy with his throws, but they're very lethal.
Just like Chuck Liddell, he throws those, that's how John Hackleman trains him, I guess. They throw these looping punches, but they hit you, you're going to sleep. 6'11". Oh my, that's a lot of reach.
Huge opportunity, an absolutely huge opportunity for a huge man, the Giant. Gan McGee, trying to win the heavyweight belt. There he is, surrounded by the militant camp. Sylvia has been working out in Utah on the high elevation with that man. To his right, on your screen, Jeremy Horn, Tony Strickland brings the belt in for big Tim Sylvia, the Maniac.
Tim Sylvia stepping in with a kilt, William Wallace style. He had to lose weight to make a 265-pound weight division, ladies and gentlemen. He was weighing in quite a few pounds over yesterday, so who knows how much he weighs now? Probably well over 270. A huge man with big power in his right hand. Has he faced a guy that's taller than him, though? Very odd to find a guy taller than you when you're 6'8", unless you walk around the National Basketball Association. He's sparring with Shaq. Sparring with Shaq or John Spider Sally, our good friend of the Best Damn Sports Show, period. Tim Sylvia training with what I think is the best mixed martial arts team in the world is the Militant Fighting Camp, Davenport, Iowa. Those guys are serious. They do everything perfect. Everything the right way. heavyweights. Perfect jiu-jitsu, perfect striking, perfect wrestling. These guys know exactly what it takes to be a true mixed martial arts professional, and they're in a camp filled with killers. Everyone in that camp's a badass. They got Jeremy Horn, they got Tim Sylvia, Jens Pulver, Matt Hughes, Mark Hughes. I mean, it's just a cavalcade of animals down there. And all they do is train. These guys, they live in Iowa. There's nothing to do there. They train, they go to sleep, they eat, they train. And Tim Sylvia is a product of that and always gives up props to militants.
And let us remember, the leader of that pack is the well-decorated former welterweight champion, Pat Miletich. And Pat Miletich's new thing is he wants Royce Gracie. That's a story to be set in the future. I'll tell you one thing right now, Tim Sylvia, same mindset as Matt Hughes. To be a champion is one thing, to defend your belt means you are a true champion. Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. Look at this. I mean, nearly 14 feet tall, over 520 pounds. This is truly a battle of the giants for the biggest belt of them all, the heavyweight championship. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Dr. Luther Mack, Chairman. Our judges at Octagon side are Cecil Peoples, Abe Bellardo, and Tony Weeks. And now, it's time for the Battle of the Giants. This fight is 5 rounds for the title of UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World. Introducing first, the contender standing to my left. He is an expert in wrestling and holds a mixed martial arts record of 12 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 264 pounds. Fighting out of San Luis Obispo, California, please welcome the Giant, Gan McGee! And introducing the champion standing to my right. He is an expert in the Miletich fighting systems. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 17 wins with no losses. He stands 6 feet 8 inches tall, weighing in at 262 pounds. Fighting out of Davenport, Iowa, he is the UFC Heavyweight Champion of the World. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Maniac, Tim Sylvia! And when the action begins, our referee in charge is Big John McCarthy.
Tim Sylvia was a 5-1 underdog against Rico Rodriguez. Rico couldn't take him down. Sylvia got the victory by TKO at 309. Now McGee wants the victory, which would be a defining moment in his career. Gan McGee. Tim Sylvia.
Are you ready? Let's get it on!
Heavyweight championship is on the line. Mandalay Bay Event Center. Sylvia's undisputed in the heavyweight class. Now he wants to be a defending heavyweight champion.
Gan McGee is very relaxed in there. Very relaxed throwing the jab. He looks very calm considering he's fighting for the UFC heavyweight title. Look at his face. Just looks like a day in the office. Very relaxed. Almost has a smirk on his face.
Sylvia's got great technique for a big man. Great technique.
Well, absolutely, you have to if you train with Miletich's fighting.
You're absolutely right. And those guys go toe-to-toe every day. 3 years at the Miletich camp, and you can see it. Oh, remember McGee's wrestling is excellent. We kind of think we're going to see a slugfest here.
A lot of those guys from the pit, they have that style. Excellent wrestlers who are good strikers. Keep you standing up. You can't take them down. When they stand up, you can blast you. Nice. Nice right hand by McGee.
Just scratch Chuck Liddell, didn't he?
He's very relaxed. He keeps his hands down. His hands are very low. It's probably not the best idea. Tim Sylvia's got a vicious right hand that he showed against Rico Rodriguez.
He went toe-to-toe with Pedro Rizzo, so we know he's got a great chin.
He was also all over Josh Barnett in their bout until he gassed out.
You're right. Whoa, there's a good combination. Sylvia is the one closing the gap. Hard to find a guy 6'10" to train with, so there might be some feeling out here on the long reach of Dan McGee.
For both of them, they're probably just not used to seeing guys as big as themselves.
Big right hand, big right hand! That's what I'm talking about! He's rocked! Oh, he's out, he's out, he's out! It's all over! Tim Sylvia!
That's what I was talking about.
And does it!
Oh, he's out bad. He's still out. His neck is up.
Tim Sylvia with a big right hand has knocked out Dan McGee. Wow. Waited, time delivered, and devastated.
Like I was saying before, Dan McGee looked very relaxed. His hands were down low, which probably isn't the best idea when you're facing a guy with that kind of right-hand power. I guarantee you one thing, Tim Sylvia will never be a 5-1 underdog over anyone ever again. Yeah, bring on Fedor now. Pride heavyweight champion.
No kidding, huh?
That's the man in the heavyweight division right now, ladies and gentlemen. Let's take a look at that big right hand.
Bam!
That's it, on the button. The first one rocked him, the second one on the button. You notice when they were standing, he's just out there. Big John McCarthy wisely wrestles him away and rescues him. See, Tim Sylvia has a much more classic boxing style with his hands up, protecting himself. The first right hand rocked him a little bit, the second one right on the button, and McGee goes down.
And Sylvia finishes.
There's a reason why guys keep their hands up and their shoulders up and their chin tucked down. Tim Sylvia had the classic boxing stance. Dan McGee was very loose and open, and he paid for that.
Bring on Fedor, huh?
Absolutely. Pride heavyweight champion Emelianenko Fedor is considered one of the best heavyweights in the world right now. But I gotta think right now, Tim Sylvia would have an advantage over him.
There he is.
Talk about a giant. Somebody teach that guy how to fight.
And he's sporting the UFC hat. And the crowd loves it. They are on their feet at the Mandalay Bay. Shaq has arrived.
I'll tell you.
Now, what did they say? If you're looking for somebody who's big, bring in the NBA, and here comes Shaquille O'Neal.
Teach Shaq how to spar.
Oh, my. Well, didn't he do it in Kazam or whatever? Wasn't he sparring? That's right. That's an excellent point. Bruce Buffer's all about reality.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout in round number 1 at 1 minute 54 seconds. For the winner, and still the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the Maniac, Tim Sylvia.
Eddie Bravo with the champion.
I'm here with the UFC heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia. Tim, congratulations on a phenomenal victory. How does it feel to finally prove you are the #1 heavyweight in the world?
Well, first of all, I got a long spiel, okay? So get ready. I need to thank Joe Gold, Foreign Contact Fighter, InternationalSportswear.com, Fairtex, Rock Hard Nutritions, K's and Supplements, Westlake Mortgage, my team, of course, Militich Fighting System, my chiropractor, Mark Schmall. I want to thank all the guys up in Utah, Walt Bayless Combat Jiu-Jitsu. I had to go up here and train in the altitude. My main man, Jeremy Horn, was by my side the whole time, getting me ready for this fight. I love all the guys here. All the fans here, I had a huge, huge crowd, and I believe that's them right up there. I want to thank them all. They're all maniacs, man. Everybody back in Maine, Ellsworth, Eastbrook, Waltham, Franklin, all my friends back in Iowa. I love you all. Quad City Accelerations.
Okay, we're gonna take a look at the end of the fight. This is the big right hand, the drop scan.
We just make sure we kept our hands up. We knew that I was a better striker than him, and he tried a shot. I underhooked, shucked him to the side. When I saw when I hit his chin, I knew he buckled. I jumped on him again to establish the knockout.
All right, congratulations once again. How about a big round of applause, gentlemen, for the UFC heavyweight champion, Tim Sylvia.
1 second, I want the mic.
All right. Tim wants to say one more thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of talk about Pride being better than the UFC. Rico went over there, showed him a thing or two. Bring Pride on. Wherever they are, I'll take them on. I don't care. Bring on the best heavyweight. Let's see what they got, baby.
All right, congratulations one more time, Tim. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
Tim Sylvia stepping up to challenge the Pride heavyweight champions.
That's what it's all about. Great mixed martial artist, and to be the best, you must fight the best. And when you conquer the best, then you are considered the best. And right now, that man is the best in the heavyweight division of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. The Maniac, Tim Sylvia. It took only 1 minute and 54 seconds. Don't forget, on November 21st, the UFC celebrates its 10th anniversary at UFC 45 Revolution. And as a special fan thank you, the UFC is offering an amazing free gift with the purchase of Revolution, a collectible casino chip set of the top 10 UFC fighters of all time, selected by you, our fans. Go to UFC.tv, submit your vote for the top 10 UFC fighters of all time. And don't forget, at UFC.tv, great information on the upcoming programming in the month of October. Log on for the networks, the times in your area. Log on for the latest and the greatest. It is UFC.tv. Revolution from the Mohegan Sun. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. So get them and come join us in November 21st at the Mohegan Sun in Connecticut for UFC 45. Matt Hughes will defend his title that night. And Tank Abbott will be back in the octagon to take on Wesley Karai, the man known as Cabbage. We still have ahead the big one for the light heavyweight championship. Tito Ortiz and Randy Couture, who will be the undisputed champion in the 205-pound division. A star-studded night tonight as we saw Shaq Daddy in the house, Shaquille O'Neal here in Las Vegas. Maybe he'll talk a little hoops with Jerry Tarkanian. I know one thing, he's impressed with the striking ability of these great fighters. Let's hear from Shaq. He's with Joe Rogan.
I'm here with Shaquille O'Neal. Shaq, tell me what you think about the UFC fights.
I think the UFC athletes are some of the greatest athletes in the world, and I'm just glad to be here.
That's all for you, man. Got something to say to the fans?
Thanks for coming out, coming to watch some people get their ass beat.
Shaquille O'Neal, ladies and gentlemen.
He is the one and the only Shaq Daddy. Peace back to Shaquille O'Neal. I'll tell you what, he is outstanding. Mandalay Bay, Las Vegas, Nevada. Shaq would be a heavyweight, I think. Yeah, about 300 pounds. Joe Silva, our matchmaker, says, yeah, Shaq would be a heavyweight. He'd have to cut a lot of weight. Yeah, he'd be a super heavyweight. Super night so far. Let's continue in the heavyweight division. Andre Arlovski against Vladimir Matyushenko. Matyushenko trains in LA. He might be a Shaq Daddy fan and a Laker fan now. One thing we know, this is truly the Battle of Belarus. Our next bout is a heavyweight match that could be billed as the Battle of Belarus. Born in Rachisa, Belarus, the janitor Vladimir Matyushenko is a world-class wrestler with a great chin.
This fight is very important for me. This fight is my way to be a champion at UFC heavyweight. This guy is just the obstacle, so I had to beat him up and put him away.
Now he faces tough as nails fellow Belarusian Andre Arlovski. Born and fighting out of Minsk, Belarus, Arlovski showed his sambo skills in his UFC 28 debut, winning by armbar. But lately, he has shown dangerous stand-up skills, like in his 1 minute and 25-second destruction of Ian Freeman at UFC 40.
I'm training hard. I want to win this fight. I'm ready.
Up next, the janitor, Vladimir Matyushenko versus Andre the Pitbull Arlovski. And there he is, the janitor, Vladimir Matyushenko. He is a decorated wrestling champion, 5-time Russian wrestling champion, and he loves to compete.
He's also an excellent puncher. Vladimir's got hands that feel like canned hams. He's got these big giant fists. and he trains at the Raw team, and Rico Ciparelli and the Raw team, any of those guys are just consummate professionals, excellent wrestlers, very good at submissions, and we saw him against Travis View. He's got excellent punching on the ground, and I think he's better at heavyweight than he was at 205 pounds. He was competing at light heavyweight, and I think he was just draining his body too much to make that weight. At 220 pounds, he looks healthier, he's got more explosive energy, and he's looking to take control of the UFC heavyweight division.
Last time inside the octagon, defeated Pedro Hidzo by unanimous decision, and as you pointed out, Vladimir Matyushenko, with those great wrestling skills, does like to slug. As for the Battle of Belarus, both Matyushenko and Arlovski said, hey, Americans fight Americans all the time. No big deal. We'll go. They want to do it, we'll do it, and they're about to do it here.
Yeah, how odd is it that two guys from Belarus meet in North America to fight?
And not in a hockey game. Here's Vladimir Matyushenko at 32 years old. His opponent is 24 years old. And a big 24 years old. At the weigh-in yesterday, you could tell Andre Arlovski had a head over Vladimir Matyushenko. Sambo, father was a police officer in the old Soviet Union. Required classes in Sarko. So he enrolled at the police academy, he learned it well. Began his martial arts at 18 years old with a soccer goalie, and now he is concentrated on being a fighter.
This guy, in my opinion, is the most dangerous contender in the UFC heavyweight division. Completely dismantled Ian Freeman, showed amazing stand-up skills. I mean, he looks like a world champion kickboxer in there. Trains with Andre Dutko, who was a K1 champion, and he's got excellent Sambo skills. Placed third in the World Sambo Championship. Very good on the ground, good arm bars, good knee bars, but vicious striking skills that are just coming out, and he's a young guy. He's got a huge future ahead of him, and anybody in the UFC heavyweight division, or in Pride for that matter, has to be very scared of this guy. Arlovski is a man to be feared.
Andre Arlovski, 6'3", 240 pounds, entering the octagon for the 5th time. The Pitbull against the Janitor.
And he's only 24 years old.
Yeah.
He looks like he's 40.
He is a mean-looking dude.
He's an animal. I mean, he just completely took Ian Freeman apart. His striking skills were just several heads above Ian's. And Ian's one of my favorite fighters. Ian is a brawler, always comes to brawl, always comes to slug, and believes that he can knock out anybody, but just couldn't touch this guy.
Tale of the Tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. 8 years different between the two Belarusians. Andre Arlovski is 6'3", 243. Over 20 pounds heavier, 24 in fact, than Matyushenko. And a 3-inch advantage in the reach. Could that be a factor in a slugfest? Time will tell. Bruce Buffer with the official introductions of these two fine heavyweights.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. He is a wrestling expert with a mixed martial arts record of 14 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet tall, weighing in at 219 pounds. Fighting out of Los Angeles, California, please welcome the Janitor, Vladimir Matyushenko. And introducing his opponent standing across the octagon to my right. He is a Sambo and kickboxing expert with a mixed martial arts record of 6 wins and 3 losses. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 243 pounds. Fighting out of Minsk, Belarus, please welcome the Pitbull, Andre Arlovski.
Our referee for this heavyweight matchup is Larry Landless. Vladimir Matyushenko. Andre Arlovski.
Look for Matyushenko to take this fight to the ground.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's rock, come on.
Arlovski to try to keep it up on his feet.
Master Sambo against the 5-time big right hand wrestling champion. And there to the ground, he will try to go. Good sprawl by Andre Arlovski.
Matyushenko didn't want any of that stand-up as soon as he felt that right hand. He immediately tried to take him down.
And this reach is something I think Vladdy's going to have to size himself up against.
The reach and the power. The guy's got vicious punching power. And again, only 24 years old. Stood toe-to-toe with Pedro Rizzo until he got caught with a big right hand and dropped and knocked out. But he learned from that.
That's a lead 240, too.
Yeah, and absolutely. And the fact that oh, big right hand. Matyushenko's hurt.
Matyushenko. Arlovski teeing away to the right. Landless is watching to see if Matyushenko can intelligently defend himself. And Vladdy does.
Arlovski with a guillotine. He wants to step out of this, I'm sure. But Arlovski does have excellent submission skills as well. He just prefers to strike.
Well, Vladdy is a wrestler. He's more of a pure wrestler than a jiu-jitsu master. In fact, he is a pure wrestler. He didn't want to be on his back either.
Good takedown defense by Arlovski. Oh.
Wow, that reach is a definitive advantage here for Arlovski.
Arlovski's clearly the better striker, too. Every time Vladimir steps in to swing, he takes it. Whoa.
Looked like a slip. Whoa. Now there's going to jump in. It was a knee to a downed opponent. Because if even if one of these counters to over 3 point, it's still a down.
You need him in the head.
So no knee to the head.
Are you ready?
And he's been penalized.
You ready? Let's go.
Vladdy with a good leg kick. Vladdy tries to take him down, but he winds up mounted. Oh, no. Very bad position.
Bad position for Vladimir Matyushenko.
Vladdy went to take him down and stumbled and wound up being mounted. This is very bad. Now he's turning his back. Arlovski's getting the hooks in. He steps away.
Arlovski just hurts a tee on the toes, baby. Tee on the toes.
Oh, nice right uppercut.
Straight kick.
Vladdy is definitely... Oh, he's out.
It is all over. It is all over. Referee Larry Landless has stopped the fight. Andre Arlovski dominant against Vladimir Matyushenko.
That, in my opinion, is the #1 contender for the UFC heavyweight crown. Andre Arlovski, 24 years old, constantly improving. And a huge victory over, wow, Vladdy can't even walk right now. He's trying to walk to his corner, and he's on rubber legs. Let's take a look at that knockout. Big right hand, uppercut right there. And Vladdy's legs just go. And he drops him with a hammer fist on top of him from the side. Excellent call by referee Larry Landless stopping that fight. See, missed with the right hand and right uppercut on the button. He was out.
Tell you what, our referees do a great job.
Excellent job by referee Larry Landless right there. Wow, look at that big uppercut. Arlovski's just got devastating power. And when you're not as good a striker and you try to strike with that guy, you leave openings that you don't think are there, and that's what happened. You fight a guy like that, unless you're Pedro Rizzo, you better not strike with him. You better try to take that guy down. Use whatever striking skills you have to avoid the strike.
Andre Arlovski.
That's a very, very dangerous man for anybody who wants to fight in the heavyweight division.
Oh, and he is happy, pleased, and he should be. Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner by knockout at 2 minutes, 14 seconds in the very first round. For the winner, the Pitbull, Andre Arlovski.
Tim Sylvia better keep his eyes out on that guy. That's a fight I would love to see. Tim Sylvia and Andre Arlovski. Is that a dream match or what?
You may very well get to see it. So Andre Arlovski is victorious, and he wins the Battle of Belarus. Still ahead, our featured matchup here tonight, UFC 44, 40-year-old Randy the Natural Couture, the only man to wear the belt in not one but 2 weight classes. The 2-time heavyweight champion, the interim light heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture, takes on Tito Ortiz to find out who rules at 205 pounds. Randy's been uncharacteristic a bit, too. He has actually spoken out on Tito's absence against Chuck Liddell. Trying to play some mind games, I think, with Tito Ortiz.
Randy's talked a little trash. He said that Tito was afraid. He said Tito was afraid of Chuck Liddell, and then he disposed of him for him. And then he said he's coming for Tito next. He said it in the cage. He said, Tito, you want this belt? You got to come and take it.
40 years old, and he looks better than ever. When we saw him at the weigh-in yesterday, Randy Couture, I'm sorry, but every woman in the room just went, oh my gosh, 40 years old.
It's incredible. He's shredded. He's, he dominates guys. I mean, he's fighting guys 10 years younger than him, and he's controlling the fight, and he's the one who's not gassing. I mean, he's completely defying age.
Echo Cardio Man, Echo Freak from the Echo Challenge.
Well,
in Fiji.
I talked to Ryan Parsons, who's their chiropractor, and he's
Right.
also the nutritionist for Team Quest. And he told me that he's got Randy's diet completely changed. Randy's now on an all-alkaline diet where he feeds him all these greens. He's got this crazy green powder he mixes in with his water, all green leafy vegetables. He's eating fish, very little red meat, a much lower protein diet, and it's a very scientific approach to changing his body and making his body and his blood more oxygenated and making his cardio better. And he said Randy's never been in better shape. At 40 years old, he's just a cardio machine.
For those of you interested, it would be at alkaline.com, perhaps.
I don't know what it is.
Hey, one thing I can tell you, the next 10 years will provide great memories as well for the Ultimate Fighting Championship. How about the boxing legend, Al Bernstein, the host of UFC 21st Century Sports. Al Bernstein is in attendance tonight. He caught up with you, Joe Rogan. You tell the story, the history, the evolution, the revolution of the UFC. It's on TV everywhere. A great show you will not want to miss. For more information, go to UFC.tv. And truly, we are embarking on a new time, a new era for the greatest sport in the world.
Absolutely. The UFC has changed so much now. Now we're getting mainstream acceptance. They're showing the weigh-ins on ESPN. We're seeing the odds being taken in the USA Today. We're getting exposure on television where they're showing the fights on Fox Sports Net. We're about to show some fights on some other cable networks, and they're currently working on showing shows, a weekly show on a bunch of different cable networks. This sport will gain mainstream acceptance, and I truly believe it's the most exciting sport in the world.
Well, you've said that quite often, and we know that our friends at the Best Damn Sports Show, period, took a chance before anyone else in mainstream. We had that show dedicated on Fox Sports Net. Hey, Tito was on Jay Leno. The guys were appearing on Carson Daly, ESPN, as you mentioned. It's a great time to be a mixed martial artist, and a great time was had earlier tonight. Check out this fine action. Carl Parisian may be only 21 years old, but he has 19 fights to his credit. His opponent, 13 years his elder, the well-rounded welterweight Dave Strazzer. In the welterweight division, young Carl Parisian makes his UFC debut against KG veteran Dave Strazzer. Carl the Heat Parisian is a judo expert who trains under legendary grapplers Gokar Chavichin and Judo Gene LaBelle. Carl has excellent throws and is always looking for a submission. Dave Strazzer has fought all over the world and is well-versed in all aspects of the game. Dave shocked many at his debut at UFC 42 when he defeated the heavily favored and undefeated Romy Aram. Up next, Carl the Heat Parisian versus Dave Strazzer. And here he comes, the man from Armenia. Moved with his family from Armenia to Hollywood, California at age 6. Started fighting at 16, and as I mentioned, has had 19 fights in just 5 years. Carl Parisian making his UFC debut.
You see Carl behind him is the legendary Judo Gene LaBelle, a true pioneer in martial arts, one of the first guys to ever have mixed martial arts bouts, and actually trained Bruce Lee how to grapple. Carl is an excellent grappler and a cardio machine. He's an animal. This kid is a savage. I've been hearing about him for years. He has a victory over the very heavily favored Fernando Vasconcelos, and you should see some crazy wild fighting from this dude.
6 junior national judo crowns in the trophy case for young Carl Parisian. Currently ranked 3rd in the world at 178 in judo. He's thinking about the Olympics in the future. He's thinking about the octagon and his UFC debut tonight. He'll make his debut against this man. Dave Strazzer, freestyle fighting, 34 years old. Midwesterner through and through. Born in Milwaukee, fighting out of Kenosha. That whole militant feel to it with Dave Strazzer. He just loves this competition.
Dave Strazzer is a consummate professional fighter. I was very impressed with him at UFC 42 when he took apart Romy Arum. I mean, just excellent composure, very well-rounded, excellent at all parts of the game, striking, grappling, everything. A real solid pro, Dave Strazzer, with excellent gameness. This guy is just down to throw.
Three-time Extreme Challenge Tournament champion, Neutral Grounds Tournament champion. Greatly ranked in the Shudo fighting. Promoter of his own freestyle combat challenge in Racine, Wisconsin. This man has fought all over the world. Joe Silva, the matchmaker, gave him his shot at UFC 42, and he took advantage of it. He won, he brought it, he's rewarded with another chance here tonight. Our tale of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. Look at the difference. 34 years in age between Strazzer and the youngster, 21 years old, but very fight experienced, Parisian. Let's check in with the veteran voice of the Octagon. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Introducing first, the fighter standing to my left. This man is a highest on grappling system expert. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 17 wins and 2 losses. Standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 169 pounds. Fighting out of North Hollywood, California. Please welcome Carol the Heat Parisian. And introducing his opponent, standing to my right. This man is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu fighting expert. He holds a mixed martial arts record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Please welcome Dave Strazzer.
So Strazzer, the Midwesterner, with a mixed martial arts record of 23-3-4, our referee, Steve Mazzagatti.
Bring it on.
And here we go. Welterweights here tonight at the Mandalay Bay Event Center.
Very interesting matchup here.
Solid black trunks for Parisian.
Carol's a wild man.
And he loves those throws. He is judo through and through, as you talked about.
You know, absolutely. He is a well-rounded martial artist, though. Not just judo. The guy's got really good striking as well, and he's very aggressive.
He's adapted his judo without the gi, too, and that's a key here in the Octagon, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I was talking about before. These guys, a lot of these guys that start off with the gi, they use the gi, and they have these gi techniques that don't apply. But Caro and a lot of the guys coming up now, they know how to do all the techniques. I mean, you started Rich Crunkleton in UFC 42 as well. They know how to apply those techniques without the gi now.
In preparing for this fight, Strazzer watched a lot of tapes of Carl Parisian, and he actually said by watching those tapes, he learned some things. And maybe he'll try to use some of that against his opponent here tonight. So a great compliment given to Carl Parisian.
Yeah, Carl is an excellent judo.
Good knee.
Dave Strazzer is not easily rattled. You saw that with Romy Arum, cracked him. Oh, nice takedown. That's the judo right there. Beautiful takedown by Carl. Carl's in Dave's half guard.
When done correctly and efficiently, it certainly is a thing of beauty, isn't it?
Absolutely. Oh, judo's beautiful, man. When you watch those throws, if you see a guy who's really excellent at it like Caro, it just seems effortless. All leverage and technique. Dave's looking to get full guard here. Good right hand.
Strazzer moved to Iowa back in '95, did work out and train with Pat Miletich for a few years before moving to Wisconsin upon getting married in '97. And now, as I mentioned, he has his own school called the Freestyle Academy.
Strazzer's got full guard here. Good right hand by Caro. Another nice right hand by Caro.
Parisian, the movie stuntman. Nothing staged tonight here, though, in the Octagon, that's for certain.
A lot of those guys train under Gene LaBelle. Gene LaBelle is known for being a stuntman. He's been beaten up in more movies than you can possibly imagine.
Does he ever win?
In real life, he sure does.
There you go.
Talk to Steven Seagal about it.
There you go.
Legendary story of him choking out Steven Seagal. Uh-oh. Caro's got a leg. This guy supposedly has vicious leg locks. This might be very dangerous for Dave Strazzer here. Dave's out of it. And Dave's up.
Scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds.
Look for Carroll to try a throw here again. Knees. Nice knee.
Good combination to follow. And
again,
Strazzer comes at him.
Dave Strazzer just not easily rattled. You don't take that guy out of his game.
Left jab and a big right that misses.
Good head kick, but not a whole lot on it. We saw that against Romy Aaron too. He like, oh, nice. Dave Strazzer, he sort of like pecks at you. He doesn't just throw vicious, evil bombs. He just kind of pecks at you. But he keeps coming. Carroll rolls into the knee bar.
The only fights Dave talks about are the ones that he lost, because he said those are the ones I learned from. Let's find my weaknesses and improve on them. We talk about 23 wins. That's an absolutely spectacular mixed martial arts record.
Carroll's got his arm tied up. Look for the takedown. There he goes.
Trying to work that arm again.
Oh, he's got a Kimura.
It's over.
Tap. Beautiful.
It's all over. Submission victory for Parisian.
Beautiful.
The throw and the finish. And victorious in his debut is the 21-year-old.
I've been hearing about this guy for years. This guy, Carroll. Everybody keeps telling him. You've seen Carroll fight. He's this crazy judo guy under Gene LaBelle. And man, he lived up to his reputation. Beautiful takedowns and an excellent submission to finish it off over the very competent Dave Strazzer. That's a big accomplishment right there. Let's take a look at that throw, and then it transitions into the finish. He ties the arm up, throws him right into a Kimura. Gets side control and cranks it behind his back. Look at him, just the pain in Strazzer's face. Beautiful technique right there.
He just stayed with it till he had it, Joe.
Let's take a look at it again. Look at Strazzer's face. He's got that Kimura. He rolls it over. Gets side control, puts it behind his back right there. Oh, you can feel the pain.
Pain and then disappointment, as the 21-year-old reigns victorious. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 3 minutes, 52 seconds of the very first round. For the winner by tap out due to a Kimura, Carroll the Heat Parisian.
We're gonna see a lot from this guy, 21 years old, just a kid.
19 fights now, 20 in 5 years.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is. That's a busy man.
But you see that paid off. You see how calm and relaxed he was when he was in the octagon.
He's upstairs with Eddie Bravo. Eddie.
Congratulations, Carl, on a phenomenal win. I don't think we've seen judo like that in the octagon and ever. Tell me a little bit about your judo experience with Gene LaBelle.
With Gene LaBelle and Couture, it's been unbelievable. I've trained for 12 years for this fight. This whole matchup in the UFC, it's a dream come true. Judo is #1 for me, always will be. I'll put myself in the mixed martial arts. I want to make my mark in the UFC.
We're going to take a look at the fantastic judo throw right here. Take me through it.
Actually, this is a judo throw called sumigashi. I flipped him over and I had the Kimura in my arm and I just went for the submission.
I'm going to take a look at it from a different angle here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite ones, actually. I kid a lot of people in this. Thank God I actually worked in the UFC.
All right, thank you one more time and congratulations again, Carl. Great fight. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
We're gonna see a lot more from that guy, guaranteed.
Well, he said he is all about judo, but he's ready also to add mixed martial arts and the Ultimate Fighting Championship to his resume. His UFC resume reads 1-0, undefeated. He wins by submission with the Kimura at 3:52 of the first round. Congratulations. Oh, I'll tell you what, that young man, very impressive. Carl Parisian. Oh my goodness, what a great variety of skills he displayed earlier tonight. And the anticipation continues to build here at UFC 44 Undisputed. Still ahead, Couture and Ortiz, and still ahead in months ahead.
On November 21st, live on pay-per-view, the next 10 years of the Ultimate Fighting Championship will begin. It's It's a revolution in the making that will show the world the UFC is ready to activate, elevate, and dominate the sport of mixed martial arts. Friday, November 21st, live on pay-per-view. The 10th anniversary of the UFC sets the revolution in motion.
And tickets on sale tomorrow for UFC 45. Matt Hughes defends his title. Baroni is back. Lawler is back. Tank against Cabbage. We will be at the Mohegan Sun Arena in Uncasville, Connecticut. Friday night, November 21st. It'll be live on pay-per-view UFC 45. Oh, what a glorious night we have had here in Las Vegas, Nevada. This is where we had our first show in Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay Event Center on the beautiful Las Vegas Strip. A star-studded affair, including the retaining of the belt in the heavyweight division by the Maniac, Tim Sylvia. And still coming up, our featured matchup, 40-year-old Randy Couture against the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz. Tonight, it's about being undisputed. Tito did not fight Chuck. Randy defeated Chuck. They both own belts. Only one belt leaves the octagon here tonight. Tito and Randy still ahead, Joe Rogan.
I'm here with Quentin Rampage Jackson and Chuck the Iceman Liddell, winners of their first bouts in the Pride Grand Prix. Two of the top 205-pound fighters in the world who will now face each other in November. Chuck, how's it feel back to be winning again? And what do you feel about tonight's bout between Randy Couture and your friend Tito Ortiz?
Hey, I think it's going to be a great fight. Whoever executes their game plan the best is going to win tonight, so it should be good.
Now, Quentin, I know you've been fighting in Pride. What do you think about these UFC fighters here?
Hey, the UFC fighters, they all right, they straight, but Pride, man, hands down, Pride is the bomb, you know what I'm saying? Man, we got things going on where we kneeing folks in the head, we be slamming them, we be trying to toss them out the ring, but the little Japanese referee keep on pushing them back in, and so you can't get none of that over here. And you know, they have little shows and everything, and it's good though.
Now, do you prefer Pride's rules where you can soccer kick dudes on the ground, knee them in the head, all that stuff?
Oh, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't do it that much, you know. I'd rather slam them and take them down, knee them in the head, you know what I'm saying, get them all bloody and let the referee pull me off of them and stuff like that.
Now, you guys will be fighting each other soon. Chuck, tell me what you think about that fight.
It's going to be a great fight, very exciting. We're both going to come after it. And I got to win by knockout. Pride ain't going to let me win by decision, so I'm going to have to come after him, so you better be ready.
Give me a prediction for the fight.
Oh, it's going to be a KO.
All right, let's take a look at your big knockout in Japan over Alistar Overeem. Alistar on wobbly legs, and the Iceman coming in for the finish. How did it feel to be back on the winning track?
Oh, it feels great. I was so happy to get back in there.
And won his fight.
Poor performance my last fight in the UFC, so I was glad to get right back on the horse and start fighting again.
Now, I know Dana White has a $250,000 bet that you're going to win the Pride Grand Prix. How do you feel about that?
Hey, whatever he wants to do, I'm planning on winning it. I have to knock out both guys. I've been wanting Vanderlei Silva forever, so Quentin's in my way. He's in my way from getting to Vanderlei Silva, and that's the guy I want.
Quentin, what do you think about that fight?
What fight?
The fight between you and Chuck.
Oh, the fight between me and Chuck. Oh, okay. Hey, that's going to be a fight, you know what I'm saying? Chuck and I, you know what I'm saying, we kind of got some of the similar style, you know what I'm saying? Like, we know how to wrestle, but we rather punch and you know what I'm saying, hurt folks and stuff like that. Even though he got more knockouts than me, you know what I'm saying, he been fighting longer than me. He older than me, too, so he got a little bit more experience. I got to get in there with the street. You know, I'm bringing the street to everything. I like the way he took care of Alice Overeem, you know, Alice is my boy and everything, and all, it's all good. He took care of Alice. I'm going to do my thing and do my thing, and when I do my thing, it's going to be done.
When you do your thing.
When I do my thing, it's going to be done.
Well, I'll tell you what, as a fan, I'm looking forward to it, and I can't wait to see it. Good luck to the both of you guys.
Thanks a lot.
We do look forward to that great matchup. Our good friends are represented here tonight. The boys from Tap Out are in the house. There they are, going crazy, having fun as always. Oh, they love this fight game, don't they? And our friends at Pride as well. I am now joined by Mr. Takada. He is the executive producer of the Pride organization. That is the mixed martial arts king in Japan. And as Chuck Liddell has represented the UFC in Japan, an announcement now, you're going to send one of your fighters to the UFC, Mr. Takada.
Yeah. Hello, everybody. We are Pride. I will send Sakuraba and Fujita to Octagon.
That is an absolutely amazing announcement. Thank you. It is great to see two great organizations working together. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, Mr. Takada, oh my goodness, Sakuraba is headed back to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. He will represent the great members of Pride. They are in attendance here tonight. We spoke to Quentin Jackson a moment ago. Another Jackson represented earlier here tonight at the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. What a night of fights it has been. Mr. Takada has been here with us all night long. Call it the trilogy. Meeting number 1, Jeremy Jackson knocked out Nick Diaz in the first round. Meeting number 2, Diaz KO Jackson. Tonight, winner takes all. Up next, two young welterweight warriors who know each other well. Jeremy the Scorpion Jackson and Nick Diaz have fought twice, with each coming away with a win. Jackson scored the first win in September of 2002 by first-round TKO. Diaz evened the score with a first-round TKO in July of 2003. Both want to prove to the world who the better fighter is. Tonight, it's the rubber match. Nick Diaz versus Jeremy the Scorpion Jackson. And here he comes, Nick Diaz. We mentioned they have fought twice before. Diaz is just 20 years old, a Gracie Jiu-Jitsu standout under Cesar Gracie. The first time we fought, I didn't give him any respect. He was good, and he won. The second time, I played my game, and this time he said they will leave no doubt who the better fighter is.
Nick Diaz is an excellent jiu-jitsu fighter. His stand-up is not quite as good as Jeremy Jackson's, though, but Jeremy Jackson's groundwork is not as good as Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz, again, a star pupil of Cesar Gracie. Look for him to take this fight to the ground and try to submit or pound out Jeremy Jackson.
Many believe Nick Diaz is the future of the welterweight class. The last meeting he was superior on the ground. Jeremy Jackson. Man, he can throw. He's got great hands. He said when he did come into the second fight, he was a bit cocky, and it cost him. He will not be overconfident tonight. That is for certain.
Jeremy Jackson's got some nasty hands. Very good puncher. I was very impressed with his fight against Shoney Carter in the WEC. Shoney Carter's a seasoned kickboxer, and Jeremy Jackson picked him apart on his feet. Very impressive stand-up. His ground skills, however, are not the caliber of Nick Diaz. He wants to keep this fight standing up.
Question is, will he be able to? Because the last meeting, which was only a few months ago in July, he was not able to do so, and he paid a very dear price. So it's the welterweights, Nick Diaz and Jeremy Jackson. Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC. Found at nitro.tv. These are two very, very young but experienced competitors. Two that want to make a statement here in the welterweight division. Ready to make a statement inside the octagon. Here's Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next fight is 3 rounds in the welterweight division. Standing to my left is an expert in Gracie Jiu-Jitsu. This fighter holds a mixed martial arts record of 7 wins with 2 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 169 pounds, fighting out of Stockton, California, introducing Nick Diaz! And his opponent, standing to my right, this man is a Vale Tudo fighting expert with a mixed martial arts record of 9 wins with 3 losses. Standing 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 170 pounds, fighting out of Port Hueneme, California. Please welcome the Scorpion, Jeremy Jackson!
Two very different styles, and Steve Mazzagatti will be our UFC referee.
You ready? You ready?
Diaz,
Bring it
Jackson,
on!
and the welterweights are set.
Third fight in the series. Again, Jackson's going to look to keep this fight in his feet. Diaz definitely wants to go to the ground. See him just avoiding the strikes, circling, looking for the opening to take Jeremy Jackson to the ground where it's his world. There he goes.
Diaz in the solid red trunks, Jackson in the red and black trunks.
Oh, good left hand by Jeremy Jackson. Nick Diaz has a little rock there.
Both fights, as we mentioned, have ended very quickly. And of course, Diaz wants the takedown. Jackson, as Joe pointed out, wants to keep this fight on the feet and was not able to do it here early.
Jeremy Jackson is not going to be able to get up from this. This is going to be very hard. Nick Diaz, this is his world right here. There's a huge difference between the skill levels of these guys on the ground.
Come on, baby, come on. How much in a matter of months will his skill improve as he gets up quickly?
Very nice.
Trying for another takedown, and he has it.
Again, this is Jeremy Jackson's worst nightmare. He does not want to be on his back with Nick Diaz on top of him. Last time they fought, Nick Diaz mounted him and pounded on him, and Jeremy couldn't do anything. He couldn't dismount him. And Nick said in an interview, he said, once I mounted him, I knew he didn't know what to do. He had no idea. He's going to do it again. He's passing his guard. You look as his left leg comes up. He's going to stick it on top of Jeremy Jackson's right leg and push it down and pass his guard. He's going to stick his right leg out of there, and he's going to mount him. So he's doing that shoulder knock right there. He slams his face with his shoulder. That's mostly just to distract him so he can pass his guard. That's what he's concerned with right now.
Little Jiu-Jitsu 101, half guard closed and now opened, and that's exactly right. He does not want Nick Diaz to get side control.
There's a huge difference between these guys skill level-wise on the ground. Just as there is a huge difference between the skill guys standing up. Very interesting contrast in styles. Okay, he's got knee on the stomach. Made a mistake there. He made a mistake there, though. He tried to do knee on the stomach and punch him instead of just mounting him. And Jeremy got up. This is Jeremy's world. He's going to take him again.
Bound and determined for the takedown is Diaz. And I know you're thinking, Joe, Jackson's got to punish him a little bit when he's got that leg. But he's so worried about the takedown occurring, he doesn't want to give up any potential defense.
Yeah, that's the most important thing to him is to avoid the takedown. Throwing shots from there, he's got no leverage. It's really hard for him to make any impact.
There's nothing going on there, Jeremy.
Jeremy Jackson, he's just got to hang on to his guard.
Now remember, Diaz has to stay active, and so far he has, or the fighters will be stood up.
McGee.
Good job by Jeremy Jackson so far avoiding Nick Diaz. Avoiding the submission. He's going for his own, lift his legs up.
Fight him in the air, Jeremy. Fight him in the air. There you go, you're doing good. Fight him in the air again.
I've got to imagine his camp has worked on ground defense. Moves backs to those right to the left, and he throws them right back on his inside.
His camp is working on ground defense, but there's a big difference in the skill level of his training partners as well. I mean, Nick Diaz is working on Cesar Gracie and Gil Castillo, guys who are just phenomenal jiu-jitsu guys. Whereas I don't think Jeremy Jackson's camp, I don't think they're quite that on that level.
Good boxing and wrestling. Considers his style of boxing. And so this is not, as you said, where he wants to be with 1 minute and 35 seconds remaining in round number 1. Welterweight matchup.
Uh-oh, Diaz is out. He's posturing up. He's out of the guard. Now he's going to look to throw those legs aside. Nice kick from Jeremy Jackson.
Those are legal. From the bottom, it's okay.
He's going to push his legs to the side. And try to mount him. There he goes. He's got side control. Bad position for Jeremy Jackson. Okay, Jeremy Jackson's got half guard again.
He's got him up against the fence as well, which loses a bit of your leverage if you're trying to avoid the takedown or the passing of the guard. You have about half the space to move, and the other space is closed off by the gates. A couple of lefts connect.
Nice kick again. Nice kick from the bottom by Jeremy Jackson.
If he catches him with one of those, it might be good night.
Jerry Bolander got knocked out by Marula Bustamante like that in Brazil. You got to be careful of that. It's also the way Renzo Gracie knocked out Oleg Tektarov. He's dropped.
Some nice work by Jeremy Jackson.
Now those are hard shots. Jeremy Jackson's a very good striker. Even from that position, he can hurt Nick Diaz.
That was great boxing there.
Yeah, very good.
And Diaz did let down for him.
Yes, he did. It worked. That was real.
Good gamesmanship by Jeremy Jackson.
And excellent takedown defense, too, by, oh, there he goes. He pulls guard. Good work by Nick Diaz.
Good survival in the first round by Jeremy Jackson.
Jeremy Jackson's a tough dude, no doubt about it.
And the horn sounds, and we have completed 5 minutes, the first of 3 scheduled rounds.
Let's take a look at some replays. He's taking some right hands here.
Now watch
There's
this.
the faking it.
Nice. Oh, and Diaz just maneuvered out of the way at the last moment.
There's a takedown by Nick Diaz. Here's a nasty elbow by Nick Diaz.
Ouch. Right on the bridge of the nose.
Right in your grasp. Just do what you know what you can do. Okay? Relax. Give him a little more water, a little more water.
Refocus.
Okay?
Right.
Take control of it. Your sprawl is off the hook right now. Back to the sprawl, Jeremy.
Sprawling.
Back to the sprawl, Jeremy. Just fight hard.
And there is Nick Diaz coming out of his corner, ready to go here in the second round. Well, we know one thing, for the first time in this trilogy, the fight has gone further than the first round.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, these guys know each other's game very well now.
Something about personal vendettas and bragging rights, too.
They
Make
touch
it
gloves.
so interesting.
Show of respect, touch gloves at the start of the second round.
How does Jackson avoid the takedown, get into his forte, and that is using the fist. There's the sprawl. He's got a leg, though. There, Jackson punishing Diaz in his attempt for a takedown.
Nick Diaz is very creative with this, though. He spun around away from it. He's holding on to that leg. Very good takedown. He's just a spider. He gets a hold of you. He's not going to let you out of his web.
Right, and a left that connects. Diaz trying to rain down with the right.
Shots to the body there. Oh, nice
shot
one.
to the midsection.
You know what? You're stuck pinned against that floor. Those hurt, man. Your body absorbs all that blow. That's one of Dwayne Ludwig's favorite techniques. Oh, nice shot.
Another good ground and pound by this Gracie Jiu-Jitsu expert, Nick Diaz.
Yeah, again, this is Nick Diaz's world. Jeremy Jackson's just got to survive here.
And he's got a long build. I mean, 6 foot, 170 pounds, but look at the long arms of Diaz. Really gives him room to maneuver down on Jeremy Jackson, who's nearly as tall, though.
He's got to be careful here and not let Jeremy back up, though. All right, now he's going to pass the guard. See, his left leg comes up again, tries to get a hold of the thigh, and he pushes that thigh down. He's going to try to slide his right leg out and mount. There he goes.
And he did it.
He's in side control. He's not quite mounted yet. And Nick Diaz, Jeremy Jackson still has his leg inside on Nick Diaz. Oh, the scramble. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He's got his back. Nick Diaz got his back. See, this is the difference in skill level. Nick Diaz is much better on the ground than Jeremy Jackson.
Looking to finish it by submission. 2 minutes into the second round.
He's going to hold on right here, and he's going to try to roll him over, and while in the process of rolling him, get his right leg in. He wants to get his right hook in. His right leg in between Jeremy Jackson's leg and his arm. That little space there, that's the hook. He wants to stick it in there so he can control him, and then choke him.
The leverage is so important on the choke, and Jackson is to avoid it.
He lost him in the roll, though. Let's see Nick Diaz's guard here.
The key was not getting the legs in, Joe, and not being able to leverage out, right?
Yes, absolutely. And he's got to be very careful here. Jeremy Jackson's punches are very strong. He can really rock him here, a la Cal Uno and Fabiano Iha. Fabiano Iha was knocked out from the guard. You know, it's a defensive position, but, you know, this guy can still punch. If you get caught down there, you can still get knocked out.
Jackson in the guard, of course. Diaz, jiu-jitsu background, just 20 years old, very comfortable on his back. These two have grown to have a mutual respect for each other.
Nice shot. See, that's what I'm talking about. This is it. This is what I'm talking about. Jeremy Jackson can bang. This dude's got some power in his punches.
Trying to win this important round, too.
This is very dangerous right here for Nick Diaz. He's got to hold on to Jeremy Jackson's upper body. Either hold on to his head or hold on with double underhooks. He's got to hold on to him and keep him from raining down those shots. Just one of them can change the course of this fight.
Diaz a bit of a cut on the bridge of his nose.
It looks like Diaz is going for omoplata here, which is a shoulder lock.
Diaz is bloodied up a bit.
He's gonna roll this. This is it, the omoplata right here. If he can get his left leg beside Jeremy's head, he can roll over and get that shoulder lock. You let it go.
A couple of submission attempts here in round 2 have failed. Credit Jackson for that?
Oh, absolutely. Jackson's a tough dude. He's here to win. I mean, this is for bragging rights. These guys are 1-1 against each other. There's been a lot of trash talk.
And this is on a much larger stage. This is on the UFC stage. And the winner will advance in the minds of the UFC promoters and matchmakers and have a chance to be a factor in this welterweight division. Not that the loser won't, but the winner will escalate his status much more quickly.
Absolutely. This is the big show. You know, 1-1 in the other shows, that means something, but whoever wins this in the UFC, that means everything.
Debut for both here in the world-famous octagon. Just about 20 seconds remains in round number 2.
Nick Diaz is doing a good job here of holding Jeremy Jackson down. He learned from those punches. He does not want to take a beating like that. It looks like he's rolling for a Kimura. See how he's getting it up, slipped out. See, this is a dangerous spot.
I'll tell you, you could very easily give round 1 to Diaz and round 2 to Jeremy Jackson. And they will go to round 3.
Diaz got a little blood.
Stay focused. You want more than him or what? Hey, Jeremy, just keep your strong. Now you're going to make him stay on the feet, okay? You're going to work your jabs. You're going to let your hands flow. Okay, it's time to let the hands flow. Hold this.
All right, let's take a look at it. This is where Nick Diaz had Jeremy Jackson's back, and when he rolled him, Jeremy rolled back over and got into his guard. Nick Diaz wanted to stay on top and get the back, get the hooks in, and possibly try for a choke. Here's Jeremy Jackson with those big shots. That's the difference between having a striker on top of you. That guy's a dangerous puncher.
That first shot we saw Joe Maben, the one that cut him. Was that first one connected big time?
This is it. Let's do it.
This is it. This is third and final round.
Very interesting matchup between two totally different styles. One guy very good on his feet and one guy very good on the ground.
Diaz is anxious. He was already in the center of the octagon. There's Jackson. Diaz with the dark hair, solid red trunks. Jackson the blonde hair. Red and black trunks. Just trying to cut off a few seconds of a possible takedown. Probably. Touch my hands and don't take me down.
Jeremy's looking to swing here.
And he swing and avoid the takedown. You know that Diaz is trying to size it up. Sure enough, he did. Ducked under the punch and got the takedown, and he's in the guard.
Nice takedown by Nick Diaz. Nick Diaz has got to work out of this guard, though, so he's doing real damage to submit Jeremy Jackson.
That's where the ground specialists are so good with their timing.
Jeremy Jackson got back up.
Jackson's gotten up a couple of times. A bit surprising to you.
Yes, Nick Diaz should not be letting him do that. It should be his main concern. Should not be trying to punch. He's a jiu-jitsu specialist. He should be trying to hold Jeremy Jackson down, control him, and possibly submit him, or at the very least, mount him so he can really land effective blows and Jeremy can't defend himself.
Remember, aggression is one of the judges' criteria. If we do get this fight to render a decision.
See, while he's in the guard, Jeremy can kick his legs, can throw his legs up. There's a lot of action going on. If Nick Diaz can mount him and start pounding him, you cut off that whole bottom part of his body. It's completely ineffective. And all he can do is try to hold on with his arms. Here Nick Diaz has head and arm control. He's in side position. He's going to get that knee to his stomach and try to slide over into the mount.
Former light guard Jeremy Jackson.
Uh-oh, he's got a guillotine. He's got a guillotine. He's going to try to get a guard here. If he gets in the guard, nope, popped out.
And again, Jackson able to avoid a submission attempt.
Nick Diaz took a chance right there, and in taking that chance, he gave up that position, and now Jeremy Jackson's on top of him. He's going to throw some bombs.
Jackson fell in love after his brother rented UFC 4 back in 1997.
Uh-oh, armbar. He's got it. Nice.
It's all over just like that.
Just like that.
Diaz by submission. An armbar victory over Jeremy Jackson.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. He just left his arm in there.
Just a moment's time of hesitation can make such a huge difference in this sport.
And that's a mistake that probably Nick Diaz wouldn't have made if Jeremy Jackson was in the same position. Let's take a look at the armbar here. Just throws his classic armbar. He locks down his right arm, throws his legs up. Bang, he's trapped. Nowhere to go, got a tap.
Jackson had gotten himself right back in this fight, too.
Very good job by Nick Diaz.
For the official decision. And the conclusion of the trilogy. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a winner at 2 minutes and 4 seconds of the third round. A winner by tap out due to an armbar. For the winner, Nick Diaz!
So the 20-year-old wins his 8th mixed martial arts contest and his first appearance in the octagon. Defeating the Scorpion, Jeremy Jackson, by armbar. Here's Eddie Bravo.
Nick, congratulations on a fantastic victory. The trilogy's over. You won the rubber match. Is the feud over personally?
Yeah, well, I kind of took him a little lightly. I slowed down my training. I've been training for 6 months. I fought him last time. I was in better shape, so I didn't quite have my head all the way together for this fight. But I want to thank all my buddies, David Terrell, my little brother Nathan, everybody from Stockton, Steve Heath, and you know, worked hard. And I'm really grateful that I won.
All right, Nick, take a look at the big screens. We're gonna look at the armbar. Take me through it.
Well, I was getting pretty tired here in the third round, and I went for a solid choke I thought I had, but my arms were giving out, so I had to let it go, and I just hooked up the armbar, set it up, and cranked it real hard, so glad I finished it.
All right, congratulations. Back to you, Joe and Mike.
Eddie, thank you very much. So the victor is Nick Diaz at 2:04 of round number 3. He wins by his specialty, and that is submission, winning by armbar and defeating Jeremy Jackson. So Diaz victorious in his UFC debut. He wins the third matchup. Oh, submissions can be lightning fast like knockouts are lightning fast. We have made our way to the Mandalay Bay Event Center in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it is time for the featured matchup. Now, don't forget, Al Bernstein, world-renowned boxing analyst, is here tonight. And don't forget, he is the host of UFC 21st Century Sports. He is with my partner in crime, Joe Rogan. They tell the history of the sport, the evolution, the revolution. The UFC on TV everywhere, a great show you won't want to miss. For more information, log on at UFC.tv. All right, it's time to get it going. Undisputed, the theme for tonight. The fans are ready. The world is ready to see Tito Ortiz and Randy the Natural Couture collide. I'll tell you what, at 40 years old, he is by far the most composed and the most inspiring competitor ever to be in the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Tonight, his greatest test, the original Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz.
To get ready for this fight against Randy Couture, I brought myself up here in pure isolation for 12 weeks. Before, I've only did 6 weeks. I'm not only running up ski slopes, I'm strapping guys on ropes on a bike and pulling them up hills as hard as possible. I'm trying to push myself to the extreme.
Anything that he does, I can do just a little bit better. I've got a good group of guys that make me work, that force me to be sharp, and would love nothing more than to put knots on my head just to say they did it. I've been wrestling for 30 years. I've wrestled at a world-class level. Tito wrestled in junior college and college at Bakersfield for a year.
This ain't wrestling, man. This is fighting. This is ultimate fighting, and there's nothing like it.
I think the bell rings, and it's going to be who gets a takedown and is able to establish that top position, that dominant position.
In Randy's mind is exactly the same as a fan's mind. Don't let Tito Ortiz take me down.
And he didn't hold the championship for as long as he did. being a slouch, but I don't think he stepped in there and fought anybody that's going to come after him like I'm going to come after him.
For this fight, I think my game plan is to pick Randy apart on the feet. I'm going to do what no one has ever done. That's knock Randy Couture out on his feet. Randy fights great, but I'm a great fighter.
I certainly deserve that belt.
That belt around Randy's waist, it's a joke.
I stepped up and fought Chuck Liddell, the #1 contender, and he wasn't willing to fight him.
Once I beat up Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell's next.
We need to have an undisputed title, and that's what we're doing. Tito needs to step in there, and we need to settle it once and for all.
Two absolute animals. Oh my goodness, the time has arrived.
Man, I got goosebumps just thinking about this. Randy Couture is the most inspirational man I think I've ever seen in my life. 40 years old, trains like a savage, unbelievable wrestler, developing kickboxing skills at like age 38, training with Maurice Smith, striking with Pedro Hizzo, outstriking Chuck Liddell. And then you got Tito Ortiz, who definitely's got something to prove. Tito Ortiz furious. People calling him a coward. He's never run from anybody. He's just trying to renegotiate his contract, and everybody calls him a coward. He didn't fight Chuck Liddell, but then Randy did, and Randy took the glory from him, and he wants it back bad.
Well,
you can just see it in his eyes.
He has his chance. I just talked to Trisha Couture. She said, I'll feel better in 25 minutes. She hopes she will.
She hopes she will.
We know who she's rooting for. How about some of the other celebrities in attendance here tonight?
Mike Clark Duncan tonight. My prediction personally is Tito Ortiz for the knee strikes and the elbow strikes. I think he brings a little bit more energy. I love Couture. He's a veteran champion. But tonight, I think it is Tito's night.
It's going to be a tough fight. We know they're both as good as they're going to get. The two warriors, it's hard to say. I just know Tito is so explosive and dynamic. It's hard to get out of the way of them punches and kicks. And you've got the calm and collected Randy. Who knows?
Oh, tonight's the fight. I got my money on Tito Ortiz. You know, hopefully he'll get this victory and shut Randy Couture mouth up.
I've known Tito for 10 plus years. I predict every motherfucker in this fucking round is a victor. Anybody who gets up in this circle is an animal, a fucking champion. But Tito is above and beyond the rest.
I'm a big fan of Tito, and he's gonna win tonight. Well, you know, I'm here tonight representing for the XFC and the UFC. Tito Ortiz, the main man, punishment. Go put it down on Randy tonight. He's going down in 2, less than 2. Believe it. I'm going to have to go with Tito Ortiz tonight. Randy Couture is tough, but Tito Ortiz, he's something else. He's got everything, the whole package.
The celebrities certainly feel pretty unanimous that this is going to be Tito Ortiz's night.
I don't know why they can be so sure. Randy Couture brings everything to the table. He's easily as good a wrestler, if not a better wrestler. Easily as good a striker, if not a better striker. But one thing I think Tito Ortiz has, and a lot of people aren't aware of, is very underrated jiu-jitsu submission skills.
Well, there he is, the most inspirational figure in the world of mixed martial arts. Captain America, the natural, Randy Couture enters the octagon.
Ever improving at age 40. I mean, this guy is just phenomenal. Will not let Father Time get a chokehold on him. 40 years old, outstriking kickboxer Chuck Liddell, body slamming the guy who has got the best takedown defense in MMA, completely demolishing him in 3 rounds. That's the man right now at 205 pounds. Tito Ortiz had a dominating victory over Ken Shamrock, but he's got to beat this man to the top dog.
Just a plain old gray hooded sweatshirt with a little bit of a logo on. That epitomizes what Randy the Natural Couture is all about.
Absolutely, that's his style. I mean, this guy has inspired so many people to start training again. I mean, at age 40, like you were saying, the weigh-in, he's chiseled. He's got, you saw his face, took his face out of the picture, put some masking tape over the 25-year-old super athlete.
4-time world team member, Pan Am American Games champion, 4-time national champion in Greco-Roman, 3-time All-American in college, two-time runner-up in the NCAAs, two-time UFC heavyweight champion, interim light heavyweight champion, Randy the Natural Couture. And there he is, the light heavyweight champion, Tito, the Huntington Beast Bad Boy Ortiz.
I have never seen Tito so focused. I have never seen Tito so angry. He was in the ring today warming up, stepping into the octagon, throwing shadow box, throwing kicks. He looks mean and ready. This guy has a lot to prove. There's a lot of people calling him a coward, saying that he's Duck Chuck Liddell. He wants to show them that he's the top dog at 205 pounds. He's the champion. He presents the fact that Randy has this interim title, which he believes is bogus. He's the champion. He believes you have to beat him to take the championship, and I agree. I think Randy Couture is the #1 contender. Tito Ortiz is the champion. Randy must beat Tito to be the top man. And Tito wants to prove to everyone tonight that he's the top man at 205 pounds.
He has stated on frequent occasion that Randy Couture is my mentor. But the 5-time defending champion wants to put that man, Randy Couture, on his list of victims. Our featured matchup tonight for the light heavyweight title, it will be undisputed when we're done this evening. Champion against champion. Joe, your keys to victory.
They both have very similar styles. They're both excellent wrestlers who are also very good at striking. They both want to impose their will and dominate the fight. The only difference that I see is age. Tito Ortiz is 28 years old. Randy Couture is in phenomenal shape at 40. But is that a factor? If they're both training just as hard, does Tito's body recover more? Does Tito's body recover faster? Does he have more energy? That's yet to be seen. I also think Tito Ortiz has underrated submission skills. He has excellent jiu-jitsu skills that a lot of people aren't aware of, like to beat people down.
Tail of the tape brought to you by Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at nitro.tv. They are exactly the same size. A dozen years separate champion and champion. Ortiz, Couture, the official introductions with the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this UFC championship bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission with Dr. Luther Mack, Chairman, and Commissioners Dr. Tony Alamo, Skip Avancino, John Bailey, Dr. Flip Pomansky, and Mark Ratner, Executive Director. Our doctor at Octagon side is Dr. William Berliner. Our 3 judges for this bout are Nelson Hamilton, Jeff Mullen, and Marcos Rosales. This event is sponsored by the Gordon Biersch Brewing Company. Beer like it ought to be. And now, live from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino in Las Vegas, it's time to begin the main event of the evening. This fight is 5 rounds for the undisputed title of UFC Light Heavyweight Champion of the World. Introducing first, the champion, standing to my left. He is the only 2-time heavyweight champion in UFC history and the only man to ever move down and win a championship title in another weight class. He is an expert in wrestling and holds a mixed martial arts record of 8 wins and 4 losses. Standing 6 feet tall, weighing in at 205 pounds, fighting out of Gresham, Oregon. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the former 2-time UFC heavyweight champion and the current interim UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Randy the Natural Couture. And now, introducing the champion, standing to my right. He is the most dominant light heavyweight champion in UFC history. And tonight, he goes for his 6th title defense. He is a submission fighting expert with a mixed martial arts record of 11 wins and 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 204 pounds. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the 5-time defending UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, the Huntington Beach Bad Boy, Tito Ortiz.
I have never seen Tito this angry. He looks so amped up.
Look at Fernando Vargas and Bobby Jackson.
Tito looks fired up for this fight.
So does Bobby Jackson. That man is Randy Couture. He was smiling the whole time.
He's so calm.
Oh my goodness, is this ever going to be good? Undisputed. Big John McCarthy, who else? Our referee.
Undisputed light heavyweight champion. Are you ready? Let's get it on.
Let's get it on, baby. We've been waiting all night. We've been waiting for months. And the time is now.
Tito got down the double underhooks, but Randy shook it off.
Tito trying to steal a page of Randy's book with a little Greco. And the clinch here quickly. Remember how Randy was able to take Chuck Liddell down frequently. The strategy in the 2 camps has had to have been unbelievable.
Tito's really trying hard for the takedown here.
Absolutely.
Randy's defending, but it looks like Tito's got a leg.
There's no question ground and pound is the technique that Randy Couture does not like to have used against him.
They both want to get the other one on their back.
You're absolutely right.
The real question is who operates better from the back. Randy has lost a couple times being on his back. Both those times to much larger opponents. Josh Barnett and Rico took control of their fight when they got Randy on his back. Tito's never been put on his back, but Tito does operate very well from his back. I've seen Tito do jiu-jitsu. Tito has an excellent guard. He's an excellent jiu-jitsu guy. He just doesn't like to use it. He's told me before, when he gets guys down, he doesn't want to submit them. He wants a beat on him. He says if you tap out, you feel all right about it, but if I pound you down, you never forget it. He goes, I want to pound those guys out. I can't submit them. I don't want to.
Look at the takedown defense by Randy Couture and a knee to the midsection of Tito Ortiz. And there's an answer by Tito. Randy with the clinch pushed up against Tito. Look, he tried to kick the right foot out, go for that big takedown that worked against Chuck Liddell. Tito, as you said, has never been taken down in his UFC career.
He's also never fought a guy that's as good a wrestler as Randy Couture. He fought Vladimir Matyushenko, but Vladimir had a really hard time making the 205-pound weight limit. I think that sucked him dry. Tito dominated that fight, however. Randy's got double underhooks.
Wow, are both of these guys exhausting some energy here quickly.
If Randy can lock his hands together, he might be able to take Tito down. He's got him locked together now. This is a dominant position for Randy. This is a better position.
Well, first it was Tito attempting to control and get the first takedown, and now, as you said, Randy looks closer to having that opportunity.
Randy's so calm, and he's such just a consummate professional.
Good knees in the clinch by both of these competitors. Tito with the left into the midsection. Randy gets the takedown.
He's got his back.
Randy Couture taken down.
He's got the choke in.
Can he finish?
He's got to get his second hook in. He's got to get his right leg over and hook in. Or Tito's going to roll up to guard. Randy's still got his back. He's got to get his right leg hook in. No, Tito rolled it out.
Nice work by Tito Ortiz.
Very nice.
He was taken down.
But you know what? Now Tito's got Randy down. Randy's getting up, though.
Everything is advertised here in the first 3 minutes. This is going to be a deep and long war.
Absolutely, Randy's up. This is very evenly matched. That's why I was saying all these guys that are saying that Tito's going to run through him. You're crazy. This is going to be a war. could see just him warming up. When he was shadow boxing, his combinations were lightning fast. And his leg kicks. Working out with noted Muay Thai trainer Colin Oyama. I'm sure even though he hasn't fought in a while, he's been training like an animal. He takes his title of UFC champion very, very seriously. Even though the guy hasn't been fighting for a while, he's down. He's down!
Big takedown! There's the big takedown we saw Couture utilize against Liddell.
Randy's got him in side control. Knees to the body. Like I said before, Tito does has an excellent guard. He's just never had an opportunity to use it. Let's see if it comes up here.
He may get more than one opportunity tonight.
I know he's been training off his back a lot. He's had his training partners put him on his back, and he starts from there. He's prepared himself to be in this position. But have his training partners been as tough as Randy Couture? Now he's rolling. Oh, he's going to go for a sweep here.
Tito with good defense. Half guard now. What an action-packed first round for the light heavyweight championship.
Tito's rolling over. He's going to try to get to his knees.
Taken down not once, but twice. And round number one was Tito Ortiz.
I got to give that round to Randy. This is a war, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt.
He's strong for the first round. You're changing him up good, but you gotta land him.
All right, here, Randy almost had the choke. He needed to get his right leg in as a hook. He had his arm across Tito's neck. He just could not secure that right leg over. It's open right there. He just needed to lift his right leg up and put it over Tito's right leg. And here's a takedown. He's got double underhooks. Boom! Just like he did with Chuck. That's the first time Tito's ever felt that in the octagon.
Team Quest.
40 years young, Randy Couture, Captain America.
Shaking it out. Now, Tito said he thought that Randy was tired in that second round against Chuck Liddell. The Eco Freak.
Look at him.
And the Cardio King. Scheduled for five 5-minute rounds. Randy has never been defeated by a striker. He's outstruck the best strikers. High kick.
Nice.
Defended nicely. Couture again wants to take down.
Double underhooks by him again. Tito tries to reverse it. Wow, Randy's out muscling Tito here.
Do you think they're...
Oh, he's got to get it. Randy is out muscling Tito Ortiz in the clinch. Tito appears to be tired.
Close guard and Couture trying to work Tito Ortiz up against the fence.
Nice elbows inside by Randy.
Belfort, Smith, Randleman, Hizzo twice.
This is a dose of Tito's own medicine.
They've all been defeated by Couture. Many in this fashion, Joe.
This is a dose of Tito's medicine. This is usually the position where Tito finds himself. On top of a guy pounding him against the fence. He does not like this, I guarantee it. He's never faced adversity in the octagon except the one time when he fought Frank Shamrock. His only other loss, he got caught in a quick submission by Guy Metzger when he was a relative newcomer to the sport. He was basically a wrestler who was training with Tank Abbott, who was just a really tough guy.
That was 6 years ago. That was May of 1997. Man, he has changed since that point.
Absolutely. He's evolved tremendously. But has he had the level of competition that Randy's faced? Randy's faced Kevin Randleman. He's faced Pedro Hizzo twice. Josh Barnett. He's faced just the top of the food chain. Rico Rodriguez in the heavyweight division. And then coming down to 205, he looked unstoppable against Chuck Liddell. And look at him here. Tito Ortiz on his back getting pounded against the fence.
Ortiz has beaten Metzger and Bolander. Silva and Kondo, Tanner and Elvis, Matyushenko and Shamrock. And Randy Couture. The chants are starting to pump out from the Pacific Northwest. Couture. Gresham, Oregon. Randy trying to rain down on Tito. Working that left hand to take the breath away, the breathing pattern of Ortiz a bit.
Tito so far is not doing anything in his guard. He's just trying to keep his hands up and avoid being pounded. He's not trying to sweep. He's not trying to hold him down. He's not trying for submissions. He's actually doing pretty much the same thing that Ken Shamrock did against him.
Passes with one leg. He's in the half now.
If Randy can mount Tito, Tito's going to be in some serious trouble here. He's very tired.
Especially against the fence, Joe.
And he's taking those short, hard elbows to the face. Plus, is Tito used to this? He's not used to this. This hasn't happened to him. He's always been the front runner. He's always been the guy dominating the fight. He's never really had a tough moment in a fight. I mean, he got rocked once by Wanderlei Silva, and he came back to control him. But he's never been in a position like this before.
Don't forget UFC.tv, great UFC programming in October. Log on for the latest and the greatest, the networks and the times. UFC.tv, full results from tonight's UFC 44 Undisputed. Congratulations to Tim Sylvia defending his heavyweight belt. There will be no arguing, there will be no interim. There will be no, I didn't fight you, you didn't want to fight him. No questions left after the end of this one.
Randy's almost past his guard now. He's just got to avoid that left leg. He's got it. He's past the guard. Nope. Now he's back in the half guard. Tito's trying to stand up. He's got a hold of Randy's head.
Tito trying to work the solar plex area of the chiseled Randy Couture. 40 years old. 12 years older than Tito Ortiz. And Couture showing the great will and determination in this ground game. Putting Tito on a position we have not seen him in for years, if at all.
Uh-oh, Tito's going for an armbar.
We know Tito does have submissions.
He's never used them in the UFC, but he definitely does possess them. We saw him submit Yuki Kondo, but he hasn't really used submission skills other than that.
The old net crank. Randy's
laying elbows.
10 minutes of action here. Final 5 seconds of round number 2, which has been all Randy the Natural Couture.
Nice elbows inside by Randy. A total dominating round for the Natural. And Tito says something to Randy when Randy stands up.
This fight seems very reminiscent of what Randy was able to do against Rico Rodriguez for the first couple of rounds. Then Rico started to take over.
Let's take a look at that takedown. Randy's got double underhooks, trips the leg, boom. Presses him up against the fence, which is what Tito likes to do to his opponent. Here he goes again. There's a second look.
He's going to want the takedown. He's going to want the takedown. Stay relaxed. If you're game plan, let's set the pace. We still got 3 more rounds.
Crazy diet. I want to try it.
Just stay relaxed and control it the way you want to control it. Let's do it up.
Leafy green vegetables and fish. I want to get a list from Ryan Parsons. Tell me what to eat.
Ortiz. The celebrities in the house tonight love it.
Michael
Randy
Clark
Couture.
Duncan rethinking his prediction.
Yeah, no question. Everybody seemed to predict that Tito would be the victor.
Randy looks focused, and Tito is looking a little nervous right here.
Two of the best, if not the best, mixed martial artists in the world.
Oh, nice right hand by Tito.
Maybe Tito changed his strategy a bit.
Tito does have much improved stand-up. Maybe he thinks that's a better idea for him right now.
Looking for another takedown is Randy Couture, staying with his game plan. That's the one thing about Couture that he's so disciplined with. Staying with the game plan, being persistent in what he feels is going to be most effective. Can he get Tito down again? Yes, he can.
Unbelievable.
Persistence and dominance.
He's a pit bull.
This is a guy who looked up to Kenny Monday when he was aspired to wrestle and compete like Kenny did, the Olympic champion from 1988. On numerous occasions, Randy the Natural Couture just missed Olympic opportunities. He has represented himself so well as a champion in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
I mean, he's just got unbelievable will and desire that's so hard to overcome. I mean, his His conditioning is just second to none. Look at this position. He's got Tito in a crucifix position where Tito literally can't use his arms. He locks one arm up with his legs, the other arm up with his other arm, and he's just gonna try to pound him from here.
And Tito has been neutralized for the entire second round and here for 90 seconds of round number 3.
He can't defend these punches here. While he's got both of his arms locked up, okay, Tito rolls over his back. He's in a crucifix. He can be submitted here.
Well, that's the big question. Other than the ground and pound, how does Randy finish? We've never seen him finish other than the ground and pound.
Tito's got a hold of Randy's leg now, trying to turn it around. But he's taking punches. He's got a hold of his ankle. If he can pull Randy's right ankle out, he'll have Randy on his back. Right there. He's gone. Randy stands up. Nice knee to the body by Tito.
This is very much like the Rico.
Nice turnaround.
But we didn't see that type of turnaround in that fight.
This guy is just so frustrated. It's got to be so for you. You just think, oh, he's got to get tired eventually, and he doesn't. And he's 40.
Relentless. Randy the Natural Couture.
What an inspirational athlete.
Tito's got a lot of those Tito maniacs around the world. We're looking for him to make his move.
His will is just unsurpassed. His will is just completely dominating. He takes guys' hearts away. I mean, you saw it with Kevin Randleman. You saw it with Pedro Hizzo. You saw it with Chuck Liddell. He's just an unbelievably dominant competitor.
And the chants are starting to change. The crowd is starting to shift towards the Natural.
Absolutely. Tito is taking some punches here. Does not look good. He's defending a lot of them.
There's a good elbow.
Absolutely.
There's a good elbow. What can Tito do, Joe?
Well, he's got to lock him up in the guard and try to control him. He's got to control his head, go to full guard, control his body, and try to sweep him. What he's doing right now is not working. He's just basically holding on and hoping Randy makes a mistake. But Randy's maintaining the position, and he pounds him through the entire round. That's what he did through the entire second round. He's doing it through this round. And look, you see Tito's guard. It's just laying there. Reminiscent of how Ken Shamrock fought against him on the bottom. Tito's got to get up from here. He's got to grab a hold of Randy's body and lock his legs. He's got to do that. He's got to stop him from raining these punches down, or he's never going to turn the tide. He's taking some punches here.
Randy working the elbow. Tito trying to strike back from the guard. And Randy does not appear to be fatigued at all, trying to pass the guard. In the half now, the right leg is in.
As tired as Tito is, if Randy passes him, he's going to be in big trouble.
35 seconds left in round 3.
Oh, Randy's passed. He's just got to get Tito's left leg out, and he's completely passed. He's mounted! Oh, Tito swept him almost. Tito almost swept him.
Come on, let's go.
Time's going to run out on Randy if he does get the mount.
He's got it. He's got side control.
Time's going to run out here in round 3.
You know what? He can do a lot of damage in 5 seconds.
Oh, we've seen that, haven't we?
There it is.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did.
That's a lot of moral damage, too. Believe me, Tito Ortiz is not happy right now.
What is going through the mind of Tito Ortiz?
Complete, total frustration, trying to figure out what to do. What's the game plan? He gets on his back in the guard, and he's just waiting.
No more clinching. Fire some shots.
Maybe it's a strategy. Maybe he's just trying to hold on and relax and store up his energy. I don't know, but he's got to do something different.
Man. This guy's not fighting. He's stalling you out.
Here's a reversal. Randy gets Tito on his back. And pulls him away from the fence. Something that Tito's used to doing to his opponents.
Fuck that shit.
Tito, use your boxing skills when you start.
Let him fly. When he comes in for the clinch, unload the big ass knee.
Right hand of the body off the jab.
Randy said at the start that he wasn't going to hunt Tito down, that he was going to be conservative early. He was in the first round. He hunted him down to the takedowns in the second and third round.
Randy, at 40 years old, looks to be the fresher fighter entering into the 4th round. Unbelievable.
Now the corner set for Tito to throw some bombs early.
Oh, big right hand by Randy.
Takedown immediately. And they're on their feet here at the Mandalay Bay Event Center. That took no time at all. Tito tried to come out, get the strike as his corner had suggested, and Couture with cat-like speed drove in, got the double leg, and drives into the mat again. 4th round here.
Randy looks to be the stronger fighter. Unbelievable.
Randy
Tito's going for a sweep. Now Tito looks very frustrated.
You're absolutely right when you said earlier that he's taken a page or 2 or 3 out of Tito's book. Is this what Tito does to opponents? Oftentimes, the opponents don't last as long as Tito's will has lasted there.
The big question going into this fight is who fights better up and back. I thought it was going to be Tito, but Randy just completely imposed his will on Tito here. And the crowd is chanting Randy now. The crowd that was booing Randy is now chanting for it.
Tito did go the distance against Vladimir Matyushenko, winning by unanimous decision. That was the other big wrestler that you had talked about. Neither have ever been doubted for their stamina and their cardio, especially entering this very well-publicized and anticipated matchup.
Tito did dominate Vladimir Matyushenko, but 1, Matyushenko had a hard time making 205 pounds, and 2, it was his first fight in the UFC. The first fight in the big show. You lose a lot of energy just from the adrenaline dump. You know, your adrenaline gets to you, you're like, oh my God, am I really in the UFC? They close the cage, you see the cameras, you're like, whoa, I hope I don't get my ass kicked. And that takes a lot out of people.
Tonight, the heavyweights and the light heavyweights, Matt Hughes in the welterweight division. UFC 45 tickets go on sale tomorrow, November at the Mohegan Sun. Don't forget.
Vicious knee to the body. Randy's got to hold Tito's back again. He can get those hooks in. He's got one. He's rolling him over. He's got to get that second hook. He's got to get his right leg across Tito's right thigh. Otherwise, Tito's going to roll him over and he's going to be in his guard. Mount! Randy's got the mount!
Here we go! Randy Couture, right hook, unbelievable! John McCarthy watching. Couture teeing off on Tito Ortiz. The elbows, the mount.
This is a page out of Tito versus Randy versus Chuck Liddell.
Randy Couture trying to end the fight here in the 4th round, sliding him in towards the fence.
Tito's doing a good job of blocking these, but some of them are getting through, and he is not responding. Big John stopped the fight with Randy versus Josh Barnett for much the same type of punches.
Let's see, Tito has to intelligently defend himself. He's doing it right now. Couture dominant. Has the mount here in the 4th. And threw a bunch of punches at Tito Ortiz.
Tito's got to be wondering what he can do right now. He's pushing off the fence, trying to use the fence to roll Randy over. And he's got him!
Now remember, with all those punches, Randy did blow a lot of oxygen there.
But you know what? Tito blew a lot of oxygen defending them, and plus the frustration of being on his back with Randy mounting him and pounding him.
And he is still doing so.
Randy has faced more adversity in the octagon than Tito.
No question at all.
I mean, has Tito mentally prepared himself to be in this position of being dominated and coming back and winning? That's a big question right here. We know he's a champion. We know he's a warrior. But has he mentally put himself in this position where this is going to happen? Big elbows.
This is absolute control and domination by Randy Couture.
This is very similar to Randy's fight with Chuck.
That one ended 2 minutes, 39 seconds into the 3rd. Tito is going to be so far behind on points as we enter the 5th round. He's pretty much going to have this fight stopped to come back and win.
Absolutely. He's lost every round, in my opinion.
And Couture just wants to maintain, push and maintain. Every time we thought Tito might get a bit of reversal, it has not happened. One-sided, lopsided. Randy Couture. will enter the 5th and final round with a huge lead on the judges' scorecard.
Unbelievably dominating performance by Randy Couture. Tito walks back to his corner, shaking his head in disgust and frustration. Let's take a look at Randy Couture. Mounting Tito, just raining down bombs. Tito trying to punch from the bottom. Big elbow. Here's a big right hand from Randy Couture. Right in the face. And then elbow. He blocks the punch. Comes over where the arm is not there. He slams him down with an elbow.
This is it, man. It's your last chance. All right. Choke him out, wrap your legs behind his back, and let's hope for everything. Do it. Go for it, Tito. Big space. Do it up.
Colin Oyama, his coach, telling him to choke Randy out. These last 5 minutes.
This is why they're called Warriors. 20 minutes, Joe. They've gone 20 minutes, and now these last 5 minutes.
This is going to decide it.
Unless there is a miraculous turnaround, it's already decided. He desperately needs to avoid this takedown early again. Big right hand. And Randy will go toe-to-toe for a second, but you know he's looking to shoot. You know he's looking for his chance to clinch or to take down. Look at Tito just lifting those legs up a little bit, trying to avoid the takedown.
Tito's looking very frustrated.
Extremely frustrated. And you pointed out, shook his head in disgust. Is he not able to display any of his game here tonight? Because Couture is pressed and pressed and pressed again.
I mean, this guy's just incredible. Who would have thought at age 40 years old? I mean, Tito said no 40-year-old guy is going to beat me. He said that before the fight.
Faster, stronger, down to 205. Has changed his lifestyle from extreme and ultra dynamic cardio man to the eco freak. That's what he's changed his lifestyle to.
Like I said before, I talked to his coach, his chiropractor and nutrition coach, Ryan Parsons, who explained to me the diet that he's got Randy on. He's down again.
And if he can hold on here for another 3 minutes, Randy Couture will undoubtedly be the undisputed light heavyweight champion.
Randy's not trying to hold on. He's trying to keep pounding him. He wants to decide this one on his own. Tito has 3 minutes to do something.
Tito felt that Randy had gassed a little bit against Chuck. I don't know. I don't see any bit of fatigue from Randy Couture here tonight, nor Tito Ortiz for that matter.
Tito's just frustrated. He's a cardio machine as well, but you know what? That doesn't do any good when you're on your back getting pounded. I mean, he hasn't gassed, he hasn't worn himself out, but he has been beaten down.
Two and a half minutes remains here in the 5th and final round.
Short elbows by Randy. Just continually pounding away. Looking to pass Tito's guard now. Tito's trying to stand up. Randy's going to hold his back though. Suplex.
Good night.
Oh, man. Randy can get his back here again. He's got to get his hooks in. He's got a hold of him. He's inside control. Now, he let Tito get him in half guard. He doesn't mind this. He's very content to just pound him away an elbow in this position.
seconds remains.
Unless Tito can pull out a miracle victory by submission or knockout, somehow Randy Couture has defied the odds and at age 40 years old has completely dominated another young opponent.
So he'll become the first 4-time champion and the first with 2 titles in 2 different classes.
Incredible.
Patricia Couture said she'll feel better in 25 minutes. She was right about the 25 minutes. She was also right about feeling better.
Tito's rolling for a knee bar. Tito rolled for a knee bar. If Tito's got the energy. No, Randy's stepping out of it. He's got 37 seconds to pull this off. Randy's patting Tito in the ass.
There's a shot.
In the ass.
That was not a tap. That was not a tap. That's a pat. That's a statement. He's spanking. Oh my goodness. There's nothing Tito can do.
That is just humiliating right there.
That is a huge statement.
Tito's got a hold of Randy's ankle, but he's not doing anything to it.
Yeah, with 8 seconds left, he's going to have to take it off. It's all over. Randy the Natural Couture. Captain America.
Unbelievable.
It's the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world.
That guy is my hero. Unbelievable. Tito just yelled in frustration and threw his mouthpiece on the ground. Unbelievable. 40 years young. Captain America, ladies and gentlemen. That's the baddest dude on the planet. Wow. What an impressive and inspirational athlete.
The mouthpiece.
He did not fight Chuck. And during that time, Randy said, I'll come down. I'll fight Chuck. He defeated Chuck. And now Tito and Randy. And admiration towards each other.
You know what? Tito Ortiz is 28 years old, 12 years younger than Randy. I'm sure he's going to learn from this. I'm sure he's going to be back. But this has got to hurt.
Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Now you got to work harder next time. Right, come here.
That's the one.
He has not lost in years. The 5-time defending champion. Last lost at UFC 22 to Frank Shamrock in the middleweight title fight. This man lost twice in the heavyweight division. And now he is rocking. Let's get the official word from Bruce Buffer in a very crowded octagon.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a big hand for these UFC warriors. After 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Judge Nelson Hamilton scores the bout 50-44. Judge Jeff Mullen scores the bout 50-44. And Judge Marcos Rosales scores the bout 50-45 for the winner. And now, the undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Randy the Natural Couture.
Incredible performance by Randy Couture.
Everything we thought he would bring. And it was too much for Tito tonight. Look at Tito Ortiz. I'll tell you what, the kid's grown up, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
He has grown up. That's a champion to be proud of in Tito. And now the undisputed light heavyweight champion, Randy Couture. Eddie Bravo.
I'm standing here with the new undisputed UFC light heavyweight champion of the world, Randy. You've done what no one has been able to do. You completely dominated Tito for 5 rounds. And at age 40, what's your secret?
I guess I'm a late bloomer. I don't know. I felt pretty good. Tito's been a great champion. He's had a long-standing run in the light heavyweight division. I'm honored to have fought him tonight. He did a great job. Thank everybody for coming out. My sponsors, 24-Hour Team Sports, HCK, The Tire Barn, Submit.com, Nitro. Thank you all for your support. All my guys at Team Quest for getting me ready for this. Thanks, guys. My family. Thanks.
A lot of people thought that Tito had the wrestling skills and the youth behind it to out-wrestle you, but you knew that Tito wouldn't be able to out-wrestle you. How did you know that?
I've been wrestling for 30 years. I've been doing this a long time. I was confident in my ability to set him up and take him down. He was trying to get me to bite on the fact that he wanted to knock me out, but I knew his game plan hadn't changed. He's been a great ground and pounder. Tonight was my night.
All right, one more time, congratulations, Randy Couture. How about a big round of applause, gentlemen? What a great fight it was. Back to you, Mike and Joe.
What a moment for Randy Couture, another defining moment for Captain America, your UFC light heavyweight champion. UFC 44 is being hosted by Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino. Elegance and excitement on the Las Vegas Strip. Brought to you by TDK Media Active, publishers of UFC Tap Out 2 on the Xbox video game system from Microsoft, now on sale. By the Gordon Biersch Brewing Company, beer like it ought to be. Black Ice Raging Energizer, an all-natural dietary supplement. Can you handle it? Found at TryBlackIce.com. Check out our new 100-count bottle and buy 2 to get 1 free. CMX Sports and Entertainment, that's entertainment. By Nitro, the official sports supplement of the UFC, found at Nitro.tv. And brought to you by UFC 21st Century Sports with your host Al Bernstein. Catch the story of the history, evolution, and revolution of the UFC on TV everywhere. Tonight's UFC Tap Out of the Night. We know what the dominating performance was. The Tap Out of the Night brought to you by our friends at TapOutInYourFace.com. You saw it, Carl Parisian. What a night.
Caro with a beautiful takedown right into the Kimura. Smooth transition. Taps out Dave Strazzer. Beautiful technique, beautiful judo.
The submission of the night brought to you by our friends at TapOutInYourFace.com. Coming up, UFC 45, we'll see you in November. Don't forget UFC.tv, great programming in October. Matt Hughes defends his title in November. We will see you at Revolution, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Tickets go on sale tomorrow. The Mohegan Sun in Uncasville, Connecticut. A night with 2 championships. A night where others would come closer to a title shot. The domination was displayed by Rich Franklin. Wow, is he a contender in the light heavyweight division? And how about this man? David Loiseau, overwhelmed by Jorge Rivera. A bit unexpected, but yet deserved. Heavyweight title still belongs to the Heritage Camp. They've got a few belts hanging on the Raptors in Iowa. Tim Sylvia makes short work. And Andre Arlovski, is he the next man to
down he goes, and it is all over.
It is all in the heavyweight division. Arlovski so impressive. And then the one we waited for, the natural Randy Couture, the Huntington Beach bad boy Tito Ortiz. Captain America dominates. Randy, the natural Couture, for 25 minutes, did what no one has ever done before, and that is totally control Tito Ortiz. A night for the records, a night that belongs to Randy, the natural Couture. For my partners, Eddie Bravo and Joe Rogan, Mike Goldberg saying so long from the Mandalay Bay Resort and Casino, where the spanking belonged to Couture. He is undisputed, the light heavyweight champion. This has been Ultimate Fighting Championship 44. Couture reigns supreme. We'll see you in November, everybody.